Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajume. Some folks call me Radio Raheen. Don't know where to get that from, but good morning, ID. Good morning. I want to know something. How was you all's weekend? How was you all's weekend this weekend? You had a great weekend. I hope you did. We have with us this morning. Like I say, I'm not important. I'm just a question asker, but we do have my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Mr. Ibrahim. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good deal. Good deal. Man, how was your weekend? What you get into, Ibrahim?
Oh,
What did you get into, brother? I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question like that. What did you get into, man?
man, I wasn't doing nothing out here at the flea market trying to get rid of some furniture and stuff and make some money.
Oh, okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. How'd it go?
Terrible. But hey, we got rid of a lot of furniture.
There you go.
People during they had to give it away.
There you go. Yeah. Sometimes that's how it is, brother. Sometimes that's how it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
man.
trying to downsize.
But my thing is, you did something good for some folks. I'm sure they appreciated it.
Oh yeah. One lady was just a couple of ladies were taking those. One lady that had a bunch of medical equipment devices that I had when I had my back surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So one lady, she was just barely getting along down with. So I said, I looked at her and I said, look, hey, I'm selling for $5. And she said, well, I don't know. I said, look, I tell you what, here, take it. She said,
Yeah.
what you mean? I said, I'm giving it to you. Man, she
Mm-hmm.
was so happy, man, older white lady. She was so
Yeah.
happy when she walked away with that thing because it was brand new. And I barely used them.
Okay.
But she was so happy, and I sold her one of my seats and stuff like that. Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
rollators they call them,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? But man, I mean, the prices was just like for them was like fantastic. For me, not so much. You
Yeah.
know what
Nah,
I mean? But
but
you do what you do.
hey, that's what I'm about to say. Sometimes man, you just got to just do what you do, man. Just do what you do and let it go where it go. God got you, brother.
I
God got you.
I tell you what I missed though.
Uh-oh.
Uh, that man, he was giving away free clothes, free brand new clothes, and free food, top grade
Mm-hmm.
over there at McDonald's somewhere, and I didn't hear about it. I'm in the middle of that. So what the hell am I doing here, spending all this money trying to get these spots and stuff? I think about he giving away free clothes. That it
Mm-hmm.
was kind of light that day. You know what I mean?
There you
But
go.
that was a good thing to know to start doing that. You know what I mean? Praise God.
Is and you'll catch him on the other side. You'll catch him the next time, brother. You'll definitely catch him the next time.
Mm-hmm.
Ibrahim, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna ask you a question. And don't get yourself in no trouble now. Don't get yourself in no trouble this morning. Ibrahim, I know how you go,
All
man.
right.
Here we go. We're gonna ask you the question.
Mm-hmm.
In the wintertime or the summertime, it's either very extremely hot outside or very cold. You in the house, who controls the thermostat?
Oh God, you had to ask me that question, right? She up, wife is up moving around. Uh, the wife, but still, I demand. I like it. I don't like a house too hot, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it too cold. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I be thinking about that electric bill. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
So I be
exactly.
saying like now we got to say 78, 76. In the
Mm-hmm.
summer, in the wintertime, I have it down like 68, 65.
Man, that's cold, that brother.
Hey, well, you get used to it, don't feel it. Then when you go outside, you don't feel as you don't feel colder. You actually kind of blend a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the body, body regulates temperature like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's kind of warm, but you come out and it's 100 degrees in Atlanta, you come out 20-degree difference, man. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you what, you feel like you walk into a refrigerator.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you something, Ibrahim. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. I'm gonna be totally 100% honest and transparent with you. I'm the man of my house. I'm the man of my house.
Oh, okay.
I'm the
Really? Really?
man in my house, and that's just what it is. I just don't understand why I can't control the thermostat because she do it. Whatever temperature she want that thing on, she'll put it on, and I leave it right. We had a conversation. I don't even bother with it, man. I don't even bother with it.
Yeah, you know better. you know, you learn from being married for a while and being an older man.
Yes,
You
sir.
might be the man of the house, but the woman controls the house. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's
That's why
right.
you cannot have two American black women in the same house. One your mother or one of your sisters and your wife. You can't have them in the house.
No, not
Yes,
this. No, not if you
I
want.
went through that. I went through that ordeal. It won't happen again. You can't even have your grown daughter in
Not look.
the
Not if you want
house.
some. Not if you want some peace.
I know. Oh hell, yes. That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying. I don't know how guys be married to 3 wives. I don't know how they do it, man. I don't even want to know. You know
No.
what I mean? I just be something that's my fate. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to be happy, happy wife or miserable life. You know what I mean? It's the wife
Exactly.
that. That's how I
Exactly.
got
And so, and that's what I tell people all the time. And old man told me one time. He gave me some advice. I've shared it on here before, and I'm gonna share it one more time. Me and my wife, we were not married at that time, boyfriend and girlfriend, everything. We was living together. And I went to the lot. I think it was our dryer that broke one day, and she had washed the clothes and told me, take them on down to the laundromat and get them dried and everything. I was like, okay, I ain't no problem. I take them on down. It's right down the road. I took them down there, man. Put the clothes in the dryer. I'm sitting in the car, listen to the music. I get back, and there was a man, older gentleman inside the laundromat. So I said, I go in here and just kick with old man for a few minutes, talk to him a little bit. And one day we got to talking, and he asked me a question. He said, "Look here, what you doing, young man? What you doing with yourself?" And I told him, I said, "Man, I think I'm getting ready to get married." He said, "Uh oh." He said, "Uh oh." He said, "You about to get married?" I said, "Yeah." He asked me how old I was. I told him, and in my 20s, I told him, and he said, "Sit down for a minute." I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." I said, "He said, I'm gonna give you some advice." He said, "If you take this advice, it's gonna help you out tremendously in your marriage." He said, "I've been married for a long time now, and this is what this is what I'm gonna do for you." I said, "Okay." And he gave me this advice. And this is kind of on topic, but not. But he said, "Listen, if you ever have any problem with your wife's side of the family," he said, "I know we men." He said, "But don't you do nothing about it." I said, "What? Oh, what you mean? Don't do nothing about what you talking about?" I said, "Oh, what you?" He said, "No." He said, "You go to your wife, explain it to your wife, let her go and deal with the issue." He said, and vice versa. If she ever have any issues in your family, he said, "You got brothers?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You ever have any problem? If she ever have any problem with your family, have her to come to you, tell you, you go deal with them."
Hmm.
I was like, "Whoa!" I said, what?" And I'm thinking, I'm looking at him, and he could tell by my face. I'm like, I'm a little stunned because I got an issue. I'm a man. I handle it myself. I don't need nobody to take care of nothing for me. I take care of it for myself.
Hmm.
He said, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna explain to you why I could tell about it. Look, you don't understand what I'm saying to you." He said, "Listen." He said, "If you ever have any issue with anybody on her side of the family, if you ever have any issues with anybody on her side of the family, and you go and try to deal with it yourself, they can hate you forever."
Right.
I said, "Okay, okay, okay." He said, "But if you talk to her and have her to go, that's their sister. They'll be mad at her for a little while, but because of the fact they're family, they'll get over that quickly, and y'all can move on, with y'all lives and stuff like that, and everything will be fine." He said, "So that's how you do that." He said, "That's my advice to you, young man. I hope you be happy." Now,
You know
Ibrahim,
what?
go
You
ahead.
know what? There's even more. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was going to ask you, Ibrahim, how does that sit with you? Does that make any sense?
You know it does, but they'll hate you even more because first thing they come, oh, he got control over. I got a story about that. My brother married this woman that nobody in the family like, and the more she did, the more people hated her. Right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and then the brother would intervene, and oh, she did. One time he'd be complaining, the other time he'd be intervening and say, oh, she this and she that, another thing. She's the love of my life. And then we around call her a spiritual worker.
Good Lord.
And the spiritual worker died.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to investigate the spiritualities of this world. So
Mm-hmm.
whoa. So we really got to think. So ain't nothing you can say. The more you say about good about her, the worse it get with the family. You know what I mean? This thing going on for years, And and I try to be open minded, but I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? And she's a piece of work, but anyway, but when I get involved with a lady, I go to the mother. I romance the mother. I don't care. I'll spend money on the mother. I'll take her out. I take on cruise trips, anything. You know, if I really am concerned about a woman, I go over there as a mother because she controls everything. If that woman, if she do something that ain't right by you know what I mean? The mother gonna intervene and make sure that her daughter gets herself together. You know,
that's good. That's good.
That worked for me. That worked for me quite a few years.
And it works.
That works good.
But even here, let me ask you this question, and I'm being a little silly here, but but it's true. When you're dating a young lady, do you want to meet her mother so you can see what she's gonna look like when she get older?
Oh yeah, buddy. Because that is the most informative. Man, that is, trust me, that is the most informative. Now that I'm 71, I had the opportunity to do that a few times. And then, ex come through, old friend, you know what I mean, a bed buddy. And you like, dang, you did the right thing. You walked away because you know it's going to be. You get a beautiful baby, but that baby, look at you now.
Something happened. Something happened that wasn't right. And so a lot of times, man, I used to do that, man. I used to want to meet the mom. Let me meet your mom. They say, why you want to meet my mom? We ain't getting married. No, we not. But I just out of respect, I want to meet your mom and say hello to her and blah blah blah. Let her know who I am. Let her know who her daughter is hanging out with. Man, you walking there, you see that mama? About a week, couple days later, you're like, I've been thinking about us, and I don't think this can work out real good. I guess I got some hangups about what we're doing here. And but and sometimes they understand, sometimes they don't. But yeah, that's what you do. But what else is going on in your world, brother?
Oh, that's about it. Just trying to change the world again, trying to get back into action, get back in the movement. I've been struggling with finances, so been spending more time working than doing for the folks and working with the homeless and things. But it seems like people are doing some fantastic things out there, but still, I don't know. You pay attention and look and go places and ride down the street. You see homeless people everywhere, and you see like new homeless people. You know what I mean? It's just like older men and women. All of a sudden, they look out of place, but they look lost. You know what I mean? They have a look on their face, and they got the belongings in a bag or something, whatever they got, and they don't know what to do with themselves. And it's just like you can't approach them because they don't want everybody to know their business. But at the same time, you can just see, and I see more and more older black men and women just populating the streets now. And it looks like they brand new all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the bag ladies, it seems to be more and more bag ladies popular, and not just Atlanta. I'm talking about here in Henry County and Clayton County, Fayetteville. They popping up on they live somewhere in a residential neighborhood, or I don't know, escape from a nursing home. You know what I mean? I mean, it just seems to be more and more that even though the economy is booming, but the prices and employment rate is real low, and wages increased more so over the years than it has in many decades. But it seems to be more people are being priced out of their existence. You just can't afford to live. Do the basic things in life. So that's a concern. And another thing where you getting silly, right? I was at a Walmart waiting for a customer. I was doing some Uber waiting for a customer to come out of Walmart. And I was just looking at all the women walking there. Man, I was like saying, I'm an old man. I know I ain't dead, but some women just look wretched. They I mean, not wretched, but they don't look sexually attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they, and some of them be wearing those tight fitting snuggies and stuff like that.
So Ibrahim, are you saying that some of the
10.
women, Ibrahim, are you saying that some of the women just let themselves go?
Well, yeah, some let themselves go, and some just, as much as they do for themselves, they still don't look like, something like you want to just even be involved with the nails. I think one girl ride a Maserati. I used to see in the car with her long white nails, a big smiley white teeth. And when you hopped out the car, just like, she looked like a 10, but she felt like a 0, And the girl walked past me with these tight fitting, I guess these tight fitting things they wear, and you could nothing to imagination, you can see what she's working with, what she got,
everything.
And I'm like, like nothing, 0. Am I getting old?
No, it's not that. I don't think it's that you're getting old, brother. I think that you got standards, and they're not matching up to the standards that you have set forth. because some of us put women on a real high regard, man, and we want to make sure that there are women. My uncle always told me, and I said this before as well, don't never bring no beautiful food home. Don't never bring no beautiful food to this house.
No.
And he also say, look here, make sure that if you're going out there to get a woman, make sure she's a woman, make sure she's a lady, make sure she got certain things about herself. Because sometimes, man, sometimes, you know, and we talking about the women, but there's some sorry men out there too now. We got to make sure that we make that plain. There's some sorry men out there that don't have any idea, any vision, or anything about themselves at all. They just want to lay down and jump up and run off. Lay down, jump up and run off. That's all they want to do, and they're going to play that game. They're going to try to play that game as much and as often as they can, and try to sacrifice. See, a lot of times, man, we got to understand our impact on women. I think that's one of our topics this week. We got to understand the impact that we have on women, man, and we have a huge impact on them. And it could be either positive or negative. We decide whether it's going to be positive or negative. That's our choice.
Well, just one thing though. You know, we've been talking a lot about the women's plight and the women's thing, trying to understand that. But I think that it's time that we look at how the effect women have on us, right? And expand it. You know, I tell you what, go somewhere like a regular, you know, even the Lynch Square or whatever, but not so much not a regular neighborhood, and just look at the couples. Yeah, the couples that come out, and you see a very professional looking woman, you know, the car and everything, and then you see dragging behind some little skinny dude with his hat turned back with his cell phone over his face or pants hanging. And you wonder, what the hell? You see a decent black guy, right? Excuse my language. Decent black guy. And then he with his heavy set, red, wildly colored hair with this white girl, you know. And I'm like, brother, is it JW, you just white brother? You know, JWB, just white brother?
Yeah.
Or what? You know, and then you see the same matches, male, you know, decent looking guy and a wild looking female or something. I heard Steve Wonfield dragging a guy. He was a decent looking guy, and she was like, you know, but she was dragging the guy along, like, this is mine. Like, everybody knows. I mean, dragging the guy literally, you know what I mean? I like, and I'm trying to like match up couples, which is wrong, you know, because we shouldn't do that. But I'm trying to match up couples and see where it's headed. You know, if we say we like these type of women, why are we with this type of woman? And the same thing with women. Is the women we with the woman that she asked for this type of man, but she was this type of man, and then all men gonna come out bad. So I think we should be asking the question more so than trying to be understanding. We get no understanding. You know, I mean, what you working with? Why are you gonna demand this? And you want let us know. Tell the truth. Be honest. Why you around this kind of guy and all guys are dogs? You know what I mean?
Now let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Ibrahim. Let me ask you this question, Ibrahim, and I'm gonna go to Tucson. We have Tucson with us this morning as well. Truth of the matter, and let's deal with this thing realistically. Do we really know what we want?
No. I'll tell that. No, we don't. We don't.
Because
that changes, you know, words involved.
I think that's a part of the problem. We don't know what we want. We want this flavor of the month this week or today, and then tomorrow we want that flavor of the month, and we jumping all over the place and exchanging all kind of bodily fluids and stuff like that, man, and subjecting ourselves to so much because we just don't know what we want. And once we find what we really need, do we really appreciate it? Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's really going on, brother? Y'all having an interesting conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I caught the tail end what he said. What was said. So what are we talking about this morning? Boy, I'm on it this morning. I ain't saying that.
Man, we don't. Man, Ibrahim done covered a lot this morning already. But
I've heard.
But my thing is right now we're talking about a person jumping, and this could be male or female, but jumping all over the place, man. And then they be with this person one day, then the next day they with that person. And I'm asking the question because do they know what they want? Do we as a people, do we really know what we want and what's best for us relationship wise?
No, I mean, I've been guilty myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have me talking about no Georgia peach.
Come on
You know
now.
what I thought about? Abraham, when I thought about it, I put out a mystery name up. I'm sorry, man. But you know, I mean well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He means well.
Yeah.
But look, you know what I thought about when he was talking? Peach porridge hot, peach porridge cold, peach porridge in the pot 9 days old. We don't know
Wow.
what we want. Is the
Mm-hmm.
cup half full or half empty?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, um it's like a kid in a candy store. There's
Mm-hmm.
so much candy out there, you don't know what you want, so you're just picking and choosing. I
Yeah.
like that. And then you run into sour candy, and then you get the red candy, and then you got on some you have the green candy. I mean, I'm looking at society today, man, and boy, I'm interested to see how this conversation gonna go because uh, I be trying to pair people up. I'm gonna say, oh, I'm not. I love my brother. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna love my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope I don't say that. They got somebody that we all know. He wears somebody got something going on there, but he has a clock on his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I have good news for anybody that feels like they're lonely.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy can get a girlfriend, anybody can.
Now, why you gonna throw the flavor out there like that? Now, why you gonna throw the flavor? I'm gonna call
I
the
didn't
name,
say
brother.
no name. I didn't say no name.
Look at everybody know who walk around with that thing on his neck, around their neck. But Tucson, and you're absolutely right in what you're saying, though, brother, because like a kid in a candy store and they jump all over the place and want to try all the candy. But you got to understand this, and what people need to understand too is too much candy gonna give you a cavity. You gonna walk around with a
So this
raggedy old
make your
yuck
stomach
mouth.
hurt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You ever had? Y'all don't know. You ever had a sour belly?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Done mess yourself up. Let me go to Miss Monique. Miss Monique, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How are you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Monique, do you have your windows roll down or you on the speaker or something? And
Well,
getting a little back.
maybe just I don't know. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. We asking a question.
Okay.
We asking a question as adults. We talking about adult people here. Relationship wise, do we know what we want and what is best for us?
I think we know what we want,
Mm-hmm.
and I think sometimes experience is what teaches us what we want.
Mm-hmm.
When we've experienced certain things, and then we go to the next situation, and from the last situation, we know we don't want to deal with that no more. So when we get into a new situation, we make sure we attempt not to, you know, fall back into that same situation we had before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But do we ever really recover from our last relationship before we go on to our next relationship?
I think it just depends on the person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we do. I feel that we do, but I don't think that the majority of us do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Because I've heard people say, I'm gonna stay by myself for a while. I got to rediscover me before I go get in with someone else. And I think that's a wonderful thing. You want to find yourself again because sometimes in a relationship, be it male or female, Monique, you could lose yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that when people say that, I think it's because they still hurt
Mm.
and they haven't gotten over the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when we think that we're doing something different, we really not. We're doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
sometimes we don't want to change, like who we are,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times when I hear people say that, I'm just going to be by myself, it's probably because that they need to do some adjustment, not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily the people that they're meeting.
Mm-hmm.
They might need to make some adjustments
That's good.
about themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. And there's so and let me do this before I even go ahead. Let me get a phone line. The phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Asking a question right now. As adults, and we're talking about the Monique, I'm gonna meet your line there. Soon I had the background noise. But we're talking about adults, grown folks in a relationship. Do we really know what we want? Do we really know what we want? Do we really know what we're in search of? Ibrahim, talk to me. Ibrahim, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to. He over there trying
Yeah,
to.
I'm here.
Yeah, there you go. I know you're trying to find that mute button. Trying to find that mute button. Go ahead, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah. Okay, what's going on?
Do we know as adults? Do we know relationship wise? Do we know what we want? Do we know what's best for us, or do we just pick anything off that tree and let it go where it go?
I think we just pick what falls from the tree. It's much easier. It's less complicated, but it winds up being a chewing in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what bacteria them picked up, or and I think now we have a lot of men and women that are broken
Mm-hmm.
from past relationships.
Yeah.
And the worst thing you could do, the most toxic thing you could do, is get around a broken woman. I mean, for a man perspective, right? I know our women probably go for the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If to get around a broken woman, even with good intentions, right? That's the most toxic thing you could possibly do.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away. You know what I mean? I was like poison ivy, right? You know,
Yeah.
come creeping all around, scratching. But anyway, no, we don't know what we want because we deal with media now. Like the type of clothes women wear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it made your mom and everybody. The woman came out like dressed like some of the women out in church and in the mosque and places like out in the street. First thing your mom would tell you, your dad would say, "Boy, leave that alone."
Mm-hmm.
Dad would probably say, go on and throw your royal oats. But then, when you come back to some senses, right? Walk away. Make sure you don't get that poor girl pregnant.
Yeah.
That's the first thing be on your mind, and but now we have different standards, it seems there are no standards at all. Here's what people wanted to be when they wanted to be it, and it's just too revealing and the way they dress these little girls and everything or these teenage girls dress, you don't know if you talking to a woman or you talking to a chap. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And but and on the other side of that, I think women in their 50s now and their 60s and 70s have really stepped up the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're setting trends, but nobody want to see those trends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants that. They want to try to break it down. But the younger women and everything, and the millennials and the bottom X's, I mean, wow. It's just like you want to say, like, grab by the ground body, I don't know. Look, shake them, you got some sense here. You're creating a toxic environment. You're not paying attention. You're not listening. You listen to music and what people want you to believe and different ideas and taking it as a God-given law and want to rebel against something unrebellable about. You don't have to rebel about.
Exactly.
You do or you don't do.
Do or you don't do. Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Let us hear what you think. In relationship, grown folks. We're talking about grown folks. We ain't talking about teenagers or children. We're talking about grown folks, mature folks. Do we know what we want in a relationship? Have we made up our mind? This is what I want. This is what I will go for. This is what I won't go for. I don't want this type person. I don't want that type person. I want somebody that's going to help me, support me, not necessarily financially, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. That's going to support me and stuff like that, and make sure that I'm the best me that I could be. And in turn, I want to do the same thing for them. Badger, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Do we
Good
know what we
morning.
want?
I think a lot of people have an idea of what they think or what they think they want or um with me, I met my wife and it was easy for me. Um I think there's a lot of people out there that want money or a woman has to look a certain way, act So I do think that there are a majority of people out there that have this idea of expectation for the person they're going to date,
Mm-hmm.
or in quotation, marry. That's at whatever point. And there's a lot of influencing factors, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some just do it for looks, some do it for money. You know, there's, I mean, think about it. There's guys that they have no interest in young women. They want the cougars,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's guys out there that are the opposite. So I mean, it's a spectrum, man. When you look at society in general, I think too many people put their wants in a spouse before their needs, and
Mm.
that's as simple as that.
Wow. Wow. That's good. That's good. Let me go to Kurt. Kurt, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, morning, brother. How y'all doing, man?
Hey,
I ain't doing good. I'm hanging in there, man.
what's wrong, brother?
I don't, how I be having the muscle spasms
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
sore.
Okay.
And yesterday evening, I think, because I had to go pick my son up, man, and I got a spasm in my neck, man. And I get a little concerned because I got 2 screws that are broken in my neck, man. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
sitting here chilling. I didn't get a chance to call y'all on Friday. I was on the road, but what's going on? What's popping?
Well, we talk and definitely gonna be praying for you, brother. Definitely gonna pray for you. And if you need me, man, I'm a phone call away, man. Just hit me up. Just hit me up. That's all you have to do. We talking
Absolutely.
we talking about grown folks in a relationship. Grown folk, not teenagers, grown folk, mature people. But Kurt asking the question: do we know, as grown folks, do we know what we really want? Do we know what's best for us in a relationship? Or like we said earlier, do we just pick the low-hanging fruit and just go with that?
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword.
Mm,
That's a double-edged sword that don't nobody want to fall on.
yeah. Talk to me. Talk to me.
For the most part, we know what we want. Most of the time we know what we want. Do we go for what we want?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. You know what I mean? Man has an inability to face rejection sometimes, you know, and then we sometimes hook with people that's going to be approving to others, not
Mm-hmm.
approving to ourselves. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it, man, I, grown folk, man. Sometimes I start thinking, man, grown folk we don't even know how to really have a relationship,
Yeah,
and that's why
exactly.
we can't have what we want because we
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to. We don't know how to have a real relationship. I was just talking about this weekend. A friend of mine's called me,
Mm-hmm.
asking, so, we was talking about it, and I had to, lay it out there. Like, you know, a lot of times, man, our relationships are toxic because we make them toxic.
Yeah. Yeah. Come
You
on.
know, hey, brother, don't nobody wanna. How many people you know in the world that can honestly tell you that they messed up,
Mm.
they screwed up? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, I think about, my first marriage, man. You know what I'm saying? That marriage ended because I was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? It ain't no need to try and shift it over here or shift blame, this, that, and the thing. And there's things that I could look at that I could easily say, well, my first wife, she wasn't this or she didn't do that. But at the end of the day, the responsibility falls on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could
Mm-hmm.
get a job at A or I could get a job at B. But, how many people in the world want to admit that they screwed up?
Not a lot, brother.
Everybody want to tell this picture like they perfect and I'm, I'm the cream of the crop. That ain't always the case, man. That's one. I have so much respect for Toya, man, because Toya, she tell it like it is. Look, if you don't want this, you don't want that, you don't want this, you don't want that. You know what I mean? I'm not the one for you. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All at the same time. Finally, how can you know when you want when your selfishness meter is on 10 times a Power Ranger, man?
Exactly. I'm gonna read this what 27 said. I can't read the first part of it, but I'm gonna say 27. It says so-called grown folks don't have their lives in order. Then it came back and said, I have my life in order. Phone lines are open. 924-3521. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Tucson, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
So,
do we even know what we're doing, Tucson? Do we even know what we're looking for? Do we even know what we want? How we gonna and if we don't know, how we gonna get it?
Well, so as a person says, I know what I want, and I'm not talking about the comment. I'm talking about in general.
Yes, absolutely.
And you 40, 50, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you still by yourself.
Wow.
But you want somebody. But you know what you want, and you're still by yourself. That's a twofold. It's a twofold thing. That sometimes because you meet somebody and you know what you want, and you start off into a relationship with them, and they change.
Yeah.
You find out, I told you I don't want that at the beginning. And so if you either have to adjust to each other and meet in the middle and try to grow together, or go your separate ways.
Does that in a roundabout way, does that mean you're settling? Because if the person is exactly what you want, there really isn't a huge adjustment period because they're already there. But if you have to adjust, that means you have to move some things around. You got to move that couch over here to this side of the room, move the love seat over there, put the TV over. You got to move some things around. So is that exactly what I'm hearing you say? You have to
well, no.
Go ahead.
It's not settling. It's because I'm pretty sure that people that have been married for years and years and years, they still go through changes. So you kind of have to meet in the middle. There's some things that some people say, I hadn't liked this about my wife since I met her, and I still don't like it.
Wow.
But I had to learn how to adjust. I don't know if you want to say settle. Say settle. To it because I love her. That's what they say. Or love him.
Wow.
They got some people that they companion, wife, husband, mostly let's say husband. There's women all over the place, and I know even in the church thing. Their husband never went to church.
Wow.
And they ain't going. And it's not going. Because when they get home, the conversation starts. And he says, I ain't studying people. You and your pastor.
could go.
But they stay together.
Yeah.
So that's not settling, that's adjusted.
Okay.
They learn, they know, they have a conversation every day. I don't know. They have a conversation of why. And they figure it. But there are some people that will tell you, I know what I want. This is the type of man that I want. And they've been wanting that type of man years and years and years. But they never can find them. You mean to tell me that there's no man on earth or no woman on earth that are to your standards? The question would be, is it them or is it you?
Is it live or is it Memorex? That's the question. But Monique,
You
what do you
sound like a radio announcer.
exactly? Is it live or is it Memorex? That question is on you. Monique, what do you say to that? Oh, I think we might have lost. I think we might have lost Monique. I think we might have lost Monique. Ibrahim, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Talk to me.
Yeah, man. That's that's true thing ever said, right? You know what I mean about getting along.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you think you're into a beautiful marriage, everything gonna be correct, and y'all gonna be happy all the time. And man, sometimes it's a show because you know when you got two people trying to come together, forced to work together and live together, you gotta throw all that old talk out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing this. And I want a man like this. And I want a woman like this. I'm telling you, you know when you get into the real deal, you put that rubber meets the road. It's a labor of love.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Absolutely.
got to be a labor of love. Cause it don't make no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Where I even was married, period. Cause I ain't a good husband. You know what I mean? But I want the best of the best for myself.
Yeah.
You know. And so
now,
man,
Ibrahim, we can't just waver over what you just said. Now, what make you think you're not a good husband?
Because I'm not good in relationships. I never have been long-term relationships, but I managed somehow with the grace of God to go through long-term relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I know for a fact. I mean, after a couple of years, a couple of months, right? You know what I mean? I'm just like, wow, is this it? This life we're gonna be about? But you know, I had to keep revisiting positive things in my marriage and my life. What it could be worse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to, and things that irritate me, like the brother was saying, that things irritate about a wife when you married and still irritate a man. That's a sign of a man. You know what I mean? They can say anything about a man. You could be a dog with him, but if you can stay there and look past those things and still going to be in your marriage, no same thing about a woman, still be in your marriage, that's a sign of adulthood. You know, constantly or frustration, and I think that's the best you can do. But to me, I think it's nothing. I praise my wife. My previous wife and my wife now, I praise them for putting up with me all these years. But at the same time, you know, they gotta look back and say, "Well, dang, that nigga was still sticking with me." I'm sorry, wow. He's still him. You know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere. You know, he might like a pretty thing every once in a while, but he ain't going nowhere. You know, he ain't leaving me for no other woman. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, only thing gonna push him away is me. So, and I'm the same way. You know, I ain't leaving you. You know, unless I tell people that I ain't leave my wife no woman. You know, I tell them straight to their face.
Yeah.
You know, they can take it like they want or move on. You know what I mean? But I ain't doing that because you know she put in a lot. I've been in the hospitals. I've been sick. You know, the one married to now, she went through a lot for me. My first wife, she went through a lot with all my craziness and stuff like that. You know, so hey, I give black women 100% credit. And my oldest son, his mother was white. She started me to some crazy, real crazy. You know what I mean? I give her credit, God rest her soul. You know what I mean? She died off of addiction, but God rest her soul, man. You know, when she was there, she stayed there. She stayed there as a life or death. You know what I mean?
Wow, ride or die. Exactly.
I give women a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, there I was. Their family, their mother death, their father death, you know, the death of this, the brother, whatever. Both of my wives, you know, had definitely my first wife mother used to love me to death. I mean, she put me over her daughter and all the rest of her family over anybody.
Now, Ibrahim.
You know what I mean? I was with her.
Now, Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Now you know you're over your 3 minutes, right?
I know.
Yeah, you don't ran over, brother. You don't ran over, brother. We
ran over.
Yeah,
you don't run over 3 minutes, man. You supposed to say 30 seconds, right? That's your fault.
That's my fault. Look,
restart the clock, brother. Restart the clock. I'm just getting warmed up.
You just getting warmed up. Keep it going for you.
But that makes sense to y'all though.
It does, but you're still over your 3 minutes. So hold right there, brother. Okay. I take the blame.
Put me on mute. I'm getting ready to take on my bike. I'm riding a motorcycle today.
Oh, there you go. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna come back to you either way. Badger, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next, brother.
Oh man, I was just thinking. Once. What is the point of doing a want when it's only going to last for so long? When need is always should be the priority.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Some folks hadn't got there yet, Badger. Some folks hadn't got there yet.
well, they
I know
need
what
to
you're saying.
hurry up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They just need to hurry up. It's. I know a lot of, through observation and things like that. A lot of people haven't realized the difference between their wants and their needs. And sometimes they can be the same. But that's not as common from what I've seen in this current society.
Mm-hmm.
I see it in some of the older, probably more in the older folks than younger ones most of the time. So it's, man, dude, the more I think about this topic, the more I'm like, man, all the things I see in this day and age. So I guess in a way, what do people find more important? Their wants or their needs?
I think that a lot of times in some situations, in some instances, that will be based on the maturity of that person, not the age, but the maturity of the person. Because it's sometimes it's real hard. People have their wants. People do have their wants. They want this, they want that. Um,
I
my
won't
thing is,
disagree with that.
are they secure enough within themselves to go out there and get it? Because some people, sometimes insecurity will hold you back from going talking to that. You may want the young Janet Jackson or Holly Berry or somebody like that, but if you don't have if you're not secure within yourself or don't have the confidence in yourself, you'll never go approach them in that way because you think that is quote unquote out of your league. But let me go to Rico. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm just thankful to see another beautiful day, man.
Yes,
How
sir.
everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We talking about, do we really know what mature, grown, mature adults? We're not talking about the teenagers, but the grown, mature adults. Do we really know what we want in a relationship?
Uh, yeah, we know what we want. And then I think the other question you had earlier was, do we go after what we want?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I think the answer to that is yes. I like what Badger said the first time, and then I heard what Monique said earlier. I like that too. To me, all you got to do, if you ask the question, do we really go after what we want? I think you look at the divorce rate, and that'll tell you, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we must be going after what we wanted. But once we got in now, we realized it ain't what we needed.
Mm.
And we didn't want it no more.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these terms now that exist. Modern man, modern woman versus traditional men and traditional women. Now, this new convenient society likes things so fast that we don't like to take our time and be thorough. So now, like you say, you might ask a woman, what type of man do you want? Well, I want a man that can provide for me. Provide what you want or what you need. Well, 9 out of 10 is what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it provide for you sexually? Or just make you feel good, to support your emotions physically? What is it? So they think they found Mr. Right. Well, what else do you want in a man? Tall, dark, and handsome. Okay, so now we're going to fill that check. We're going to check that box. But on the end of that, does faithful and loyal go along with tall, dark, and handsome? Or does kind and non-abusive go along with men that can provide you all the things you want and need? Because if you overlook those quality characteristics in those things that you are supposed to require in a man, then you might get something that you didn't need. You don't want it no more. You're ready to leave him because, yeah, he make money, but he like to whoop on me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he good and bad, but he like to share it around and spread it to other women. He bringing me back diseases and got women calling my house, cussing me out. Matter of fact, one of them said he got them an engagement ring too, but we already married. I don't think I want no more of this.
Yeah.
So now you look at the grown people right now, us grown people out here still dating. Now I like long-term relationships, and I don't like cheating.
Yeah.
And so, it's funny that you bringing this up because I actually, I self-analyze a lot. And I was thinking, it sort of goes along the lines of what Monique was saying about sometimes people not realizing they don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I'm like, well, you know what, man? I'm going through this celibacy thing, but I ain't never really been big on girlfriends or claiming women.
Mm-hmm.
But the women I have claimed, we had long relationships. But I was wondering, why is it that I'm not so willing to put myself out there and commit a little bit more? And I realized I'm traumatized from cheating.
Wow.
I'm traumatized from broken relationships. I'm traumatized from seeing people dedicated to each other, creating things, and then breaking up and losing and destroying what they started creating, and then the children suffering from it. I'm traumatized by that. So maybe I don't want to change to a certain extent because I'm still trying to protect my feelings, and I don't want to go through what my mother and my father went through, along with so many other people I saw that went through divorce and the reasons why. So it could be me. I might need to change some things too. But I know I haven't been as easy to settle.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, we all got to live the human experience. We all got to live the human experience. And we all got to live it to the best way that we know how. See, I never really been one into that's mine. I think sometimes as humans, we'll get involved in a relationship and become extremely possessive of that person. So possessive that at some point we lose sight of this person is a human being. The sight that we have is this my lady.
Yeah.
Or this my, and you forget that that lady or that man is a human being. Human beings by nature is flawed.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, I'll tell you when you with the right person. This is just my opinion. You with the right person when they have a genuine love and concern, not for what you have perfected, but for what you have failed at or for what flaws you have. When they can see you and love your flaws, it's real easy to paint this picture like you got it all together. It's real easy to paint this picture like you completely understand all things said or done. It's real easy to paint this picture like you got your finances in order. It's real easy to paint a picture that is far from the truth. So, it is in my opinion that if you really want a relationship to go beyond short-term things, then you have to accept the fact that one, person is human, two, humans have flaws, and three, everything of this relationship ain't based or centered on you.
Absolutely. Ibrahim, talk to me, man. Do we get it, man? Because a lot of times people are so selfish, man. They think everything is about them. And like Curtis said, you have to realize that everything does not surround you. It's not based on, oh, yeah, absolute happiness. You got to make sure that the person that you're with is happy as well. What do you say to that, Ibrahim?
Yeah, people are selfish, right? And that seems to be the modern way because everybody thinks it's about you. All men or all women are the same. That's a selfish attitude right there because it ain't all about you. It's about who you want to be with. You know what I mean? It's a labor of love. You got to work for a relationship. It ain't supposed to come easy. If somebody give you something, you have less respect for it if you have to earn it. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know, if I got to work for it and earn it, then that's special to me. You know, I did this. I got medals and awards for doing a lot of different things, right? And that was special to me because I earned it. I deserved it, right? But you just give me something, I look at you like you know, what's in this here? You know, what's wrong with this picture, right? You know, why is it so easy? You know, just like they used to tell women and boys a long time ago. You know, you get one of them girls to easy and loose. You know what I mean? And you need to let that girl go.
Yeah.
Because she got a tear motive. Even though she might not have tear motive. You know, you might be the easy and loose one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, know exactly what you're saying. Good deal. Good. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Is Monique still on or she gone?
No. She had to hang up. I think she was at work. Hopefully she get a chance. She'll call back in.
Yeah, man, I agree with what both of them just said, man. You know, the thing is I think to the point to where they don't want to work for it. You know, when they I mean, some people do have the right person, but they want to be themselves. Like Curtis said, it's more than about you. But now I think on the other end of that, the person that is in the relationship that has taken it away from them and made it about both of them has to make sure that the other person is reciprocating that thing. See, all this thing is about reciprocal energy.
Yeah, come on.
When you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, the relationships of people, where we stand today, and then looking at where we are today. And if you look at us, some people don't like to group everybody together. But like I said, we can look at the divorce rates and we can look at the single parent households and tell that somewhere, man, people ain't communicating or getting together right. Now, I ain't saying that they're not getting along. They might be getting along and co-parenting pretty good, but they're still not in that relationship with each other. So, true. We have to understand and go back and look at, well, what is causing this? There are several factors. One is just the fact that the day and time we're in, that people are convenient driven. They crazy and addicted to convenience. They like to move fast. They want everything fast. I mean, just think about it. People ain't waiting to have babies before they get married no more. Now they having them as teens and got TV shows for them.
Absolutely.
Wow. So it's like everybody is jumping to the end of the line without learning what it takes to get to the end the right way. And now we're suffering the consequences from it. So, I mean, you look at a society that is out of order in general. You look at a society that is going through this situation when it comes to men and women, and you ask yourself, what is causing these conditions? What has caused these conditions? Because there are going to be numerous factors that you can contribute to these conditions being or existing the way that they are. Mentally, especially, all the influence, the things that were passed down from our elders. Because I think if we listen to people like our grandparents, we probably would have been in better shape. But it scares me because here recently, I'm gonna say in the past 15 or 20 years, I heard a lot of our sisters say that those women from back then were very stupid. And them men from back then were no good. They were no good. Them men did this and they did that, and these women put up with it, but now we ain't got to put up with it. And now that we doing it, y'all can't take it.
Yeah. Wow.
They want to say, two wrong make a right. That's what they call it. But at the same time, they suffering. Because right now, the choice is mine when it comes to a lot of women. And in the past, I always felt like it was the choice of the woman. Because she probably had numerous suitors that was approaching her, and she had her choice of which was the most quality man to choose from, and she went by whatever she wanted or what she needed. But now, man, you ought to see my inbox.
Wow.
There's some lonely women out here, man. They all online, taking risks, and they still trying to find out the difference between their wants and their needs.
Yeah.
And you start listening to them and finding out all the things that they've gone through, trying to find that out, and you still find out that one thing that Curtis talk about, that human factor that you're going to have to look at when you look at that other person and actually find deep down inside within yourself to see if you think they will be the right person for you, or if they're gonna end up changing or being flawed, and it's just gonna last. Cause it might not last based on the way the conditions are today.
Good deal. Gotta
Not
keep
in
it
this
moving.
atmosphere.
Exactly. Gotta keep it moving. We can hold for 1 second. Let me go to Tucson in relationships today. All the stuff that we've talked about, the divorce rate and everything. Do we sometimes just give up too quickly? Do we have that next mentality?
This is always a twofold thing. I mean, we have this thing about if say first you don't succeed, try again. Then you keep picking. We make bad choices. Then we're not all of that. All of that's part of it. Most of my issues, blame nobody else. I blame me because I will not settle for what you want to give me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm telling you this. Here's at the beginning of this. There's some certain things that I will not put up with. Love you, some girl. You sure is fine. Beautiful. You beautiful. I love your hair. Your eyes are gorgeous. But I ain't gonna put up with your foolishness or nobody else's.
So that big butt baby hair and a smile ain't gonna roll.
That ain't gonna get it. You can't cook. That don't cook no food. When the last time big butt baby, whatever you just said, made a meal? I gotta eat. You know how much it costs to go out and eat all the time, and you done burn the water.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can learn to cook, because Mama said, "Don't you let them nappy head waiters starve you to death."
Wow.
So I can cook, and I do pretty good at cooking. I'll make you bite your fingers.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. There you go.
But the thing about it is, there are some beautiful women. I've never seen so many beautiful women. And I'm just talking about women because that's my preference.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
I prefer to women.
Yeah.
Me. Okay. So there are some beautiful women, and you at the first beginning you see how beautiful they are, because we just, that's just me. Okay. I like beautiful women.
Yeah.
Okay. The beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Let me just say that. But we lie at the beginning. I know I'm out of time, either out of time or save my 30 seconds. Don't do me like you did, Avery.
30 seconds.
Give me my 30 seconds.
Oh, you got 30 seconds now. Yeah.
Okay. But we lie at the beginning of our relationships, and we make promises that we can't keep. We set a pace that we can't keep. And when it starts closing down, you figure you've been lying to me all the time. Get away from me.
Wow. Badger, talk to me, brother.
I mean, to me, once again, it's wants, and I think in today's society, most people think wants is what is the only thing that matters. Teaching kids the difference between want and need, I think, is even adults. There are a lot of adults I just don't understand anymore. I gave up even trying. So I've heard so many talk about words. Well, I want this because of this reason. Be it guns, women, cars, whatever. And it's almost like a lot of times they regret it, but they don't have especially men, don't have the balls to admit that they were wrong.
Mm.
Just straight up, like there's so many things I've heard that people have regretted, and when you try to call them out on it or things like that, they just very stuck.
Hey, Badger, which sex, if you will, makes society better, men or women?
Women.
Why?
Why?
Yes, sir.
Because in my opinion, there's way too many men out there that let their ego and pride get in the way of making intelligent decisions. And a lot of men are not taught to be in tune with their emotions, which always ends up eventually causing issues because they don't know how to really relate to anything. And a lot of us end up being very angry human beings due to it's not acceptable to do this or this, and since you're a man you have to be like this. I remember in school, if you weren't
That same
you
thing
were
can be placed on a woman. 30 seconds.
how are you going to ask me that and give me 30 seconds? I don't I In my view, with good women, they're not bothered by things like that.
Mm.
I don't see them get as ego driven. Now there are bad women out there, but that's not the ones I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. Cool with me. Let me go to Goddess. Goddess, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Goddess, we talking this morning about relationships. And we're speaking about adults, a mature adults. Do a mature adult, male or female, know what they really want in a relationship? What do you say to that, Goddess?
I'm sure they do. A mature adult knows what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they strive hard to get what they want. Um, so I know at my age, I know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Then looks ain't one of them. I mean, if you look good, that's fine. But if you looks ain't one of them. I mean, I don't want nothing that's hard on the eyes, but easy on the eyes is always helpful. But you got to come with more of a total package deal. So yeah.
Okay, that's
I
good.
think with God, and what I mean what a total package deal is that you believe in God, and not just believe, but you work hard to strive to be a better person. You also have a career, or you're not coming to the table with nothing. You come to the table with something.
Exactly. That's good.
And then I want a man's man. I want a man's man. I realize that. I don't do well with men that are men's men.
So you don't want anyone that you could just push around.
Well, not just push around, but I want a man's man. I want a man that knows how to be a man. A lot of these men out here, when I say that, it means that, okay, babe, don't worry about it. I'll worry about the tire getting put on. I got your door. I can open up your door. A man's man, a gentleman. I don't want to have to worry about now. Well, if I have to worry about to get out there and change my own tire because you don't know how, I got an issue with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's good. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, again, brother. Where are we, man? And you come from you could come from a counseling standpoint as well, man. But where are we? Do we give up too easy, man? If everything, let me ask you a mature question, Curtis. Curtis, you there?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. If everything in a relationship is perfect, now this is a mature question. I need a mature answer. But for whatever reason, the bedroom activities is just not there. It's not up to standards at all. Is that enough or do most people throw that relationship away?
yeah.
Wow.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
Mm.
You know, I mean, you know, it sounds good, but the truth is, you know, like most of our relationships, it failed because we damaged them collectively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's real easy to point out that this dude is this and this dude is that. You know, it's real easy to point that out. It's real easy to say this female is this female is that. But at the end of the day, man, if you're not willing to make, it's just my opinion, if you're not willing to make no sacrifices in a relationship that completely go against what you think that you are,
Mm-hmm.
then you're not trying to have no building relationship. Relationships, it's a building process.
Mm-hmm.
An exploration. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if people talking about what they want, and the truth be told,
but Curtis, a lot of times when they're saying what they want, when they get the list of things what they want, they don't add in the sexual. Some people don't add in the sexual expectations.
Oh, because sex is taboo, brother.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna add in. It's taboo. If a woman, for example, say, I want a dude that's gonna beat my back out, shift my kidneys,
mm-hmm.
make my knee turn in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
First thing we gonna think is, man, oh, she a freak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can't realistically, you can't truly say what you want. And then when you look and you ask the average woman, what is it that you want in a relationship? I'm not saying all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to what's going on, what do you want in a relationship? I want a man that's financially stable.
Mm-hmm.
He need to be making. I mean, nowadays you got a large percentage of women that's saying, look, if he ain't making six figures, I don't want to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, here's my question. What do you bring to the table that warrants him to cook the meal?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because if you to the table with no plates, no forks, no spoons, no nothing.
30 seconds, Curtis. Mm-hmm.
I'm done, bro.
No. You got to finish that. You come to the table, no fork, no. You got to finish that part now. Finish that part.
If you come into the table, you don't have fork or spoon. You don't have a fork, a spoon, a cup, a plate, a saucer, a bowl. You don't have nothing. You just tall enough to sit down at the table. Now this dude done cooked the meal, and he ready to divvy out the meal, and you ain't got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What gives you right to think that you're entitled to anything? You came with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's good.
So, I'm just saying, man, and I'm not knocking women, please, ladies, do not take my words like I'm knocking y'all, because I'm not. Because you got some dudes, I don't know many, but you got some dudes that think that all they got to do is come to the table with their Johnson in their hand. No, boy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Adult, if it's going to take more than that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Cassandra, calling from Atlanta.
Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Morning.
Cassandra, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about relationships and mature adults. Mature adults, not teenagers, but mature adults. Do we really know what we want in a relationship? Do we really know what we want? If it came and knocked on the door, will we identify it?
I think mature people, let's put it like this: they should know what they want out of a relationship. But you do have a lot of people that's still trying to figure out exactly what they want. So the answer would be, some people do, a whole lot don't, unfortunately.
Wow. Rico, let's talk for a second. Rico, you there? Rico, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I had to get my page down.
Okay. Let's talk about Sanders. The brother that passed gave the advice. Let's talk about him for a second. Because a lot of women came at him in a lot of different ways. But he was telling his truth, because he was saying, like, if you walking around here with 2 or 3 different kids, don't really have a job and stuff like that, but you want a 6-figure guy. Do we sometimes put our expectations too high?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what Curtis said. We've been misprogrammed, and now we don't understand the process that you're supposed to take to quality and standards. We don't understand the steps that you're supposed to take for a quality relationship. We don't really truly understand what we need to make a successful relationship or marriage. So sometimes actually we have Mr. Right and Mrs. Right in our faces, but being that they don't give us what we want, or they don't have the things that we want, we give up the fact that they have all the other things that we need, which may be like just pure love, support, respect. I know some women that passed up men because they wasn't working with a monster. But they had everything else in place. But they just could not deal with that miniature pen. It was too little. They just can't see themselves living. Now I'm hearing women nowadays, and I ain't just talking about young women, I'm talking about older women. They still can't see themselves sleeping with the same man for the rest of their life.
Wow.
Because they want to be fulfilled sexually. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we live in a society where, hypersexuality does exist. And we refuse, like Monique said earlier, we refuse to give up some of these desires. We are all human beings, and we are all behavioral addicts. We ain't hooked on crack, but we hooked on something.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we ain't careful, we'll put a lot of those things that we hooked on and those desires that we want, we'll place them before our needs. And before you know it, we're running all kind of men and women out of our homes and around our children. Because we keep overlooking the most important things, which may have more to do with honor and integrity. Like I said, you can get a man that can provide and buy you everything in the world, but he might be beating on your son and touching on your daughter. I know some women that step back and put up with that.
Wow.
They let it ride because he could give them the things that no other man could give them. Might have been sexually, might have been financially. So, I mean, and I've seen men also do the same thing. Listen, I stayed for the wrong reason. But I thought it was the right reason. It was for my son.
Wow.
Stayed for my son, but at the same time, it was a double-edged sword, like everybody's been saying earlier.
Exactly.
If I had stayed with him, I probably would have been in worse shape, and I had probably ended up in prison or dead, and not having an opportunity to even try to get him now.
Exactly. 30 seconds, we go.
Based off the atmosphere that I was in, and also based off of what I settled for. See, if I'd have nipped everything in the bud and stood by my standards from the very beginning, then I probably would have never had a child with this woman. But I lowered my standards and settled. So, standards are something that you're supposed to have, but at the same time, don't put yourself so high up on the pedestal to where you feel like you deserve more than you deserve, because a 6-figure or 7-figure man or woman, believe me, they got a whole lot more options than you.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you ain't got your stuff together, then you on the bottom of that totem pole. Even though you think you sitting up on a pedestal and too good for some of these other people that you would consider not being worthy enough.
Good deal. Let me go to Goddess. Goddess, what do you say to that? We're talking about Saunders, and he put his truth out there, what he felt, and he said that some of the young ladies, some of the times their expectations are too high. They want the man to bring everything to 6 figures and all that stuff to the table, and they're not even really working, don't even have a viable job. What do you say to that?
Well, it depends on the man, and if that man is, he's looking for a woman to come to the table, but some men just want a housewife. So it depends on what that man wants. Some men want just a housewife. Some men want a woman that is bringing just as much to the table as he is, and that's what he appears to me, is that he wants somebody to come to the table with him. Now, I have always looked at it in both perspectives, because I've been a housewife, but I've never got a chance to just be a housewife. And my idea of a housewife is that if something happens to you, I still got to be able to carry on. And so I can't just be a housewife. And plus, I want to be able to be someone who compliments my husband in whatever I do.
That's good. That's good. Ibrahim, what do you say to that? What do you say to that, brother? Do you think?
Well, I think that it seems like to be a competition between men and women. We all asking for the same thing at different rates. But be honest with yourself. Suppose you just want good sex and companionship. Somebody you can laugh with. So be honest. But be honest with yourself, it's gonna be temporary. I had to tell a couple of my granddaughters about that and everything. Be honest with yourself. Go out and have fun, but don't get twisted. You want to try to turn into a marriage or relationship. And if you're really looking for a relationship, that's an ugly word now, relationship. Man, that's toxic. But if you really want to have fun, go and have fun and go and do it. You know what I mean? And if you really want a relationship, be able to offer the same thing. It's a 50-50 kind of love. Ain't no 60-40, 30-40, man supposed to do this, woman supposed to do that. Hey, if she's making that kind of money to support our lifestyle in our house, I ain't got no time watching dishes or cooking. I'm good at cooking. That don't mean I ain't got to have my own job. You know what I'm saying? Don't put everything on me, because that's the way society at this time pays where it's supposed to be. It ain't nothing wrong if I want a woman that got money, because I learned a long time when I was young, driving truck across country was a project. That's all I wanted to see project, because I had a little money in my pocket, and the project women understood that. But when I got older, if a woman didn't have something going on, her own house, her own business, her own car, a good job, I ain't had no time for them. You know what I mean? And it's easy to deal with women that have substance in life, and a woman don't have nothing. They're not accustomed to having things. You know what I mean? Ain't no such thing as too much wealth. And I noticed that in some cultures, especially usually some of the older white cultures, a woman can be wealthy. Another man can be poor and be nobody, right? And she would treat that man with so much respect and take him out, dress him up, and hand him out, and had no problem with it. For some reason in our society, if a man ain't got this, a man ain't got that, and you know what? And that's what you want a rich man, keep looking. Because rich men on high competition. You stand along with thousands of them looking for that same rich man on TV, preferably white, just like in church, the white man stand in front of you, and that's what you want. But you can't have a man back. You want a white man, a different culture, right?
So am I hearing?
I got to slow down a little bit.
Anyway, am I hearing you say?
I got to control this bike.
Okay,
got it.
I got you. I was going to throw another question at you, but Cassandra, what's on your heart? Saunders was talking about a lot of time these women, and he spoke about the women. He said, he has a certain amount of money, but he said a lot of time women, they want a six-figure man. They want a six-figure man where they 2 or 3 different kids, ain't really working on welfare or whatever. He seemed to think that they're putting their expectations too high. Cassandra, what do you say to that?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying so much they're putting their expectations too high, because it happens. I mean, I know people that, she had nothing and he came in. But to me, it's about 2 people that find each other, that want to build together. Because when I met my ex-husband, he was working, minimal wage job, and I was teaching school at the time. I believe teaching school then. Yeah, I was teaching school at the time, and when we decided to come together, we knew that we wanted to be together. We wanted to build, and he wanted a business. So what we did is we saved up the money for him to start his business. We bought his first truck, and we went from there. And he built, that truck, that trucking business. I think he ended up, I think he had about 5 trucks when, at the end of our relationship. But we built that together because we loved each other. I wanted to see him attain what his dream was, which was to have his own business. So it's all about, and I didn't have any problem with making more money than him. None of that mattered. I don't care about stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we have the relationship, the chemistry to build a strong relationship? And that's what it was all about.
Absolutely.
Even though he cheated at the end.
And so what I'm hearing y'all say, it has nothing to do with what each other's bringing to the table, as long as you all are willing and able to pull whatever y'all do have and put it together and move forward in a positive direction. It really doesn't make a difference. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, but that other stuff doesn't matter to me. It's about wanting to build something.
That other stuff just complicates it.
Yeah, because even the sex part, if you know what you're doing, two people can make it work. And especially nowadays with all this stuff out there, you can find something that will make it perk up or do what it need to do.
Wow.
Do what it do.
Badger, what's on your heart, bro?
We got a choir singer. She got a choir singer.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart? Tucson, coming to you next, brother. Badger, what's on your heart?
Trying not to laugh too hard. I mean, Cassandra's got a good point. I mean, I never understood the concept, even growing up, of putting, like, I guess I paid attention at an earlier age of, hey, this girl looks hot, I want to be with her. And then after that first experience, I'm like, there's something wrong with this concept. This person wasn't very good. And then from there, I just kept thinking about that ideology. Like, they can be the most beautiful people on the planet, and a lot of times, what's beautiful to you ain't gonna be beautiful to somebody else either. So, like, the whole concept of want versus need, I think, is a conversation each human being needs to have before they even start a relationship. So they can actually have a discussion with the person that they're going to be with and go, all right, I'm only with you because of your looks, or, whatever reason it is. So that way there's no, just don't lie about it.
Yeah. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother. Tucson?
I'm sorry. Yes. You say what's on my heart?
Yes, sir.
I can't think. I thought about something when y'all was talking. Cassandra. Hello, good morning.
I am not talking. I'm not. It's too early.
Wait a minute, no. Let me back up. I don't know. I'm just saying, these young fellas, they taking them blue pills.
Tucson, come on, man.
I mean,
oh Lord.
He like Tucson, like he all the way across the room from the phone. I can't halfway hear him.
Talk about adult matters that are really realistic.
Lord Jesus.
I'd be like, don't you dare go to somebody's house and open their cabinet, because you ain't gonna know.
What does that mean?
You be like, you want me to compete with that? Lord have mercy.
Tucson. I'm going to put you in the
Go
corner,
in the
brother.
corner.
Yeah,
Go in
please
the
go.
corner.
Just
Go to the corner.
go
I
on
mean,
over.
he's got a point though.
I understand exactly what he's saying. He's being real. He's being real clever how he's saying it. But I know exactly what.
I have to because we grown folks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Huh?
People like.
Hey, Tucson, your volume going in and out, brother.
Oh, wait. I said people like pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
and some of our pleasure items have batteries in it.
Tucson, go, man, listen.
You be like, shoot, let me go to my house. Mute.
Yeah. Tucson,
yeah. I'm going to the corner.
Look here, I gotta put something back on this thing here. Willa.
Hey, Joaquin. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Willa. I think we need you right now, sister. I think we need you right now.
Good morning, Chloe.
Good morning to you, sis. Clean that up. That's all I'm gonna say. Clean that up.
Yeah, we got. I'm with Cassandra. Put him on mute right now. He goes to the corner and then put them books in his hand so he can hold them for a while.
Yeah, Tucson went out there that time. Well, woo. But Willa, do we know what we really want, though? And we're talking about mature people, mature adults. We go out there, jump from relationship to relationship all over the place. Do we really know what we want? Do we really know what we're looking for? Because we're going to jump into our topic, which actually lines right up to what we're talking about right now. But tell me about that.
You know, that's funny, Raheem, because I think each individual, man or woman, have certain expectations that they're expecting a certain woman or a certain man. And then the relationship that they go into, and this is not everybody, this is, some people. And when they go into it and the relationship doesn't turn out, they're still looking for the same kind of woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't realize that you got to change something because maybe your expectations are too high. Maybe they're too low. I don't know. And I've always said this, because you have male parts does not make you a man.
Come on.
So what are we looking for as a woman? What am I looking for in a man? I'm looking in a man that's going to love me for who I am. And it's just like what Cassandra said. We're going to build it together. You know, it's not about if I make more than you or you make more than me, because maybe something happened in my man's life that I know that he has the potential to be something, but I know whether he's going to be lazy or a user. So I'm just saying, it just depends on the expectations of the individual and what you're going to go through. Cassandra said it all. She just nailed it all, Raheem. So I'm exactly with what she said.
Good deal.
That's on my heart.
Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I agree too. And actually, I have been thinking earlier about going in that direction. And it made me think about that when God had said, I want a man's man.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, in this generation that we live in, what is that definition? It sounds good. Well, break that down.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start realizing that what these women consider a man's man, it's a man this is most likely a man that was raised by a woman. I wonder how good of a job she did. I know, I'm starting to recognize a lot of little ginger males around her.
Mm-hmm.
I call them men that respond and use tactics that women use when they talk and debate and want to get their way. We all are different to a certain extent, and women have certain things that they use for persuasion, or they might say certain things to get you to agree. Certain things that they say in arguments. Debates that you never heard men say to each other, but now you're starting to hear these men say these things. But what is it that you're looking for? What is a man looking for in a woman? You mentioned that about the butt hair and the baby hair and the big butt and this and that. We have to admit that we are some very superficial people, and when you look at what's going on, when you look at what's going on in today's society, not just in relationships, but just the disorder period. All the way around the board, you start seeing that we live in a society full of me people. I got to have this. I got to do that. You know, when you talk about the men are chauvinistic in the way they think about it. And then when you start talking about the women have this newfound queen concept that everybody is a queen and everybody is a black girl magic. You get what I'm saying? I mean, it's unconditional loyalty that we supposed to just be worshipped and we ain't never supposed to be chastised or we ain't never supposed to be corrected. You know, it's this whole atmosphere is so different, but then you still hear people say, I want a man's man. I want a real man. Man, listen, I had to break it off with a woman that had a constant habit of trying to tell me what a man like. And I'm a man.
Yeah.
So one of the big blow-ups, man, it's crazy. We was talking about faking it in bed. She told me that it was best for a woman to fake it in bed because she always realized that you have to stroke a man's ego. And a man puts his ego first. I said, yeah. I said, but you're going to lose out. Imagine doing that for 10 years. So she kept on trying to justify. So I came back and told her, I said, well, listen, I said, I'm a man. I'm going to tell you what's really going on. Our egos are so big that if you tell us we ain't doing our thing right, we're going to start trying to find out what we need to do because the last thing we want to find out is that we terrible and sloppy in that bed and we ain't pleasing our woman no more.
Exactly.
Especially if we love her. I said, so the best thing you would be to do would just be to keep it real so we would know better. I said, because if you got a man thinking he the best you ever had and he ain't did nothing and ain't lasting but 30 seconds, but oh, Big Daddy, you the best I had. Ooh, well, he going to think, hey, I got her whooped. She can't take this. It don't take me no time, and I got her legs shaking. No, you faking.
Exactly.
But he ain't gonna do no more than that. Why should he make that effort? Keyword effort. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we people have to be honest. You have to give what you expect. You know what I'm saying? Do people the way you want to be done. Don't get with somebody and deceive them, and you don't want that man to deceive you. But that's the mindset. You know what I'm saying? We have all these rules and stipulations and tactics and tools that women learn to go into relationships now. All these little tests. Get your friend to call him on three-way and see if he talk about you, girl. Now, guess what? I'm knocking your friend down and you mad.
Exactly.
You know, so it's all these little things. Everybody, it's not natural anymore. And people have the wrong desires. They have the wrong requirements, the wrong ambitions. They're going out looking for the wrong things in a relationship. And they actually tricking themselves into some bad situations.
Okay. Got to keep it moving, brother. Got to keep it moving. Stay right there because I want to come back to that when we get to our topic of the day because that's a part of what we're talking about. But right now, let me go to Rosalind. Rosalind, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, sis. We're talking about relationships, adult relationships. Do we really, as adults, as mature adults, do we really know what we want in a relationship that is?
Oh, I would call it my Rico, huh? I mean, I know what I want. I mean, a lot of people don't because, I mean, you have to know yourself first before you even jump into a relationship. That's just my opinion. You have to know you because I want somebody like me. I want to find somebody that's like me because I know how I am. Like, I'm a giver. I'm very loyal. They're compassionate, you know, all of that good stuff. So I want somebody like me. I mean, they don't have to be, they're not going to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. But I mean, have some type of standards, you know, meet me halfway, et cetera, et cetera. And just to keep it clean, you know, as far as the sexual part, women know how they want to be pleased. And having all that, you know, other stuff is really, if you're about 40 years old, if you haven't had your back blowed out by now, it's basically over with. So just work with what you got. Work with what you got. You know, I mean, you can teach somebody how to please you. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. But if you're looking at all that faking and stuff like that, like Rico was saying, if you're faking it, it's just you're into it, in it for the wrong reason. Probably for some financial gain, or you see that the man has something that you think you can get, and by faking it, you know, you can just fake it and fake it and fake it until you can't fake it no more, until you've used them up. But women, we know what we want. We know what we like. we can teach men how to please us. That's not hard. At least I can.
Wow. And Rosalind, I'm gonna say this to you, and I'm not gonna call no name, but you scaring folks off the broadcast. I just stop you from talking after a few minutes. You scaring folks off. Look here, Rico. We're not gonna call no name, but you know who I'm talking about, don't you, Rico?
Man, that dude is
don't call no name.
action.
Don't you call no name.
Missing and action.
I'm sorry.
Tucson, you had something to say, brother.
Yeah, man. Y'all don't cut me off, please.
I don't know,
Because I was
Tucson.
trying to make a point. I was just ugly with it. But this reality, it is what it is. Because we live in a society that, quote, you can make it work. Okay? And there are people that they alone, but they say that, see how careful I'm trying to say what I'm saying. They say they have needs. So they go to the store to fulfill their needs.
And buy some assistance.
And they do, yes. And then they go and they do that for years. Now, here you come along and they still want to fulfill that pleasure. And you're not up to par in that area.
So basically, you're saying you wake up in the middle of the night and she's taking the trip without you.
There you go. or you are there trying to do the best you can, but she call it Mr. Lewis. You just can't do it like Mr. Lewis.
Lord Jesus. God is
y'all gonna put me in the corner. I keep trying to get out the corner. But I'm just trying to. I know that but this is reality.
Yes, sir.
I mean, really,
absolutely.
It's really reality. Because people have a tendency to. It's been said they want, not need, want. And so they've been wanting for years, and here you are, a person that they really need. And they try to compare the two.
30 seconds.
And their wants outweigh their needs. That's all I'm trying to say.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Goddess, what's on your heart? We've taken a turn, Goddess. We've taken a sharp turn to the left. What's on your heart, sis? Goddess, you there? Goddess may have stepped away for a second there. I'm real hesitant, but I got to go to my sister. I'm real hesitant because they don't tell her what she about to say. But Cassandra, what's on your heart?
No. Yeah. Y'all making me stutter. No, No, for real, I'm trying to say something. Tucson is right. There are people like that, unfortunately. But please, and I'm not trying to be a fuddy-duddy, and I'm just saying, as a Christian, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in using artificial nothing. Nothing. If you ain't getting the real thing, then, and I'm talking about in a marriage relationship, you ain't getting nothing. And I'm going to say this, and I say it loud and proud. September will be 23 years celibate with nothing artificial, nothing, no masturbation, nothing. And I'm good. So for women to keep talking about what they can't do, and I got to have it. No, you don't. You want it. It's like, now that part of what he said is true. It's what you want. It's what you want. So I'll leave that there. I believe in celibacy. If you say you're a Christian, that's what you should be doing. I don't care. And that's just my opinion. 23 years.
Wow.
Nothing.
Wow. That's powerful though. That's powerful, sis. And I just go ahead and tell you myself. I don't know. That's powerful. I don't know if I could do that, but that's powerful.
Yes, you could. You're a Christian. Yes, you can. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Your body is under subjection to you. Your body is under subjection to you, just like your spirit should be. So yes, you could. Everybody on this line that's not married, the singles that want to do that, yes, you can. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, you can.
So it's hard though. It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
And that's part of the problem right there. It's hard. That's part of the problem. It's hard.
You can.
Wow, Raheem.
In the corner right here. Raheem, get in the corner.
Yeah, I do the hosting for the next 5 minutes, man. He done threw himself in his own corner. Tell me that ain't out of order. You done threw yourself in your own corner.
Hey, Kurt, what's on your heart, man? I'm going over here in this corner, man. I'll be back in a minute. What's on your heart, Kurt?
What's on my heart? That's what?
What we talk? Huh?
I can't compete with that stuff.
I'm here. I'm here. Stuff that they got coming out. You good? Have you seen some of the stuff that they got coming out? Ain't no way I can compete with that unless you're an alien. Man. And then here's the crazy thing, right? Y'all don't think I'm cool for saying this, but stimuli could be a gift and a curse. You understand? Because you can overstimulate as a female, and even with a male. If you indulge in anything too much, mama, let me just say, you do anything too much of anything is bad for you.
Yes.
If you overstimulate yourself and then you run out of batteries, and all of a sudden now you have to drift across that aisle, you ain't going to be satisfied anyway. That man's going to never meet your satisfaction. He's never going to satisfy you. You have overstimulated yourself. Now, the flip side of that is you overstimulate yourself. And that, I mean, come on, we want to talk like we tough willies. The average dude our age don't have no hour and a half in him.
Come on, Kurt. Come on, Kurt.
30 seconds, Kurt. 30 seconds.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Toussaint said 30 seconds. Toussaint said 30 seconds. Lord Jesus.
The average dude do not have no hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours in him. If he give you 2 hours, 3 hours, guess what? He gonna remember that for the rest of his life. You probably gonna get a ring before y'all even get out the bed. To the bathroom, come back in a ring with flowers and all kind of breakfast and everything. Right there on the side, he ain't even left there more.
Wow.
That's a terrible moment, man. Like, put a man that's on here, right? Y'all say what y'all want to say about me, but I'm gonna keep it real. The times where you have given a woman 2 to 3 hours of your sexual exploration, I guarantee you can tell me her first name, her middle name, her last name. You might be able to give me her last period number. Credit card number.
Lord Jesus.
Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
That was experience for you to remember. God gave you that experience, be it might have been wrong, but God gave you that experience for you to remember for a lifetime. Because that's not normal. Come on, man. That's not normal. The other thing is, you ever thought about this? Give your wife 2 hours, 3 hours. And it's not something that for those of us who are
big time studs, we can run that. A horse don't even run 2-3 hours. But give your wife 2 to 3 hours. And I guarantee you somewhere in that race, you're going to run into some infidelity issues. Because she's going to start wondering, hold on now, what's wrong with me that you can't get off in 30 minutes? What's wrong with me now? If ain't nothing wrong with me, who you giving that thing to when you ain't giving it to me? Because every time we land down, boy, your sack empty now. So where you emptying that
30
sack
seconds.
with what? And then
Wow.
lastly, I'll say this. I was involved with a girl. I used to be one of those that, I would try and stretch that thing out, as much as I could. And one day we was having an honest dialogue. And I knew something was wrong with her. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong? She's like, I really don't want to talk about it. And I'm like, oh, now, come on, let's talk about it. Because this is affecting us. You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. And she said to me, Kirk, sometimes I just want a quickie. And I'm like, I'm thinking I'm the stud of all studs because I'm going up in here, I'm representing for every man in America. Just sometimes I just want a quickie. I said, wait, what? Yeah, sometimes I just want to feel like the animal in you done attracted to the animal in me, and it's just been so blissful that you just couldn't hold it. I said, wow, because I had never heard that before. So,
wow.
Corner.
Yeah,
corner. Put Curtis in the corner.
Yeah, Curtis. Curtis.
Going to the corner too.
Curtis, you've been nominated to the corner, brother. Make that trip.
That's what I'm gonna go willingly with my 45 minutes. I'm gonna go willingly.
What a guy. You're my hero. You represent every man on the panel.
Lord. Hold on, let me go to Willa. Willa, what's on your heart?
I'm glad you came to me. Because the honesty that was in that conversation, I would have liked to know, could he handle it after she said it? Because that's what happens a lot of times when you talk about sex between a man and a woman. And I'm not saying it because I'm a woman, but when it comes to sex, men egos are stroked. So when you tell them a certain something, it does change something about this, the way they do things. So how did he handle that? Did he take it personal, or did he look at maybe she wants something spontaneous? So it's just something to build the relationship, not tear down. And a lot of men look at that as a tear down. So that's why I wanted to. I'm glad you came to me, because I want to know how did he handle that? Did he look at it as something negative or positive? Because when your woman tells you something, it's not to tear you down, but it's to in most relationships. It's to build you up.
Yeah.
This is what I want. I want to be spontaneous. I want, because as you grow and get older, you don't want to become a habit. You don't want to become, okay, well, it's 8 o'clock. Okay, you ready? No, come on now. You want to keep it exciting. I don't care how old you get. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying.
Boy, that corner gonna be full today. Boy, that corner gonna be full over today. I can't believe Willow gonna be in the corner.
Willow get it.
I can't believe Willow gonna be in the corner. Hold on.
You've been listening to DK Angry. Signing off.
I cannot believe.
I'm gonna take over the hosting duty. The most non-Christian person on hosting the Christian radio broadcast.
Boy, I tell you, boy, Rico, what is going on this morning, man? Hold on, let me see if we get some hope back in us. Let there be hope, more hope, no dope. Friday. Good morning, sis. How you doing this morning?
How you doing?
Doing good. Center yourself a little bit, Friday. Come to your right. You're right, a little bit more. Right there. Perfect. Now I know you've been listening to the broadcast. What's on your heart, Friday? Talk to me.
I just jumped on, so I don't even know what we're talking about today.
Oh Lord, it might be a good thing you just jumped on because I'm thinking they are going in this. Today ain't even today Monday. It's not Wednesday yet. Boy, I ain't no telling where we're gonna be on Wednesday. But we're talking about relationships, and in relationships, do people, adults, mature adults, do they really know what they want in a relationship? And they also they veered off. I don't know if you want to touch on this now, but they veered off about sexual satisfaction, talking about toys and all the different things of that nature. And then they said that, once a lady started indulging in those activities with those toys, that she take herself to a height that sometimes her spouse cannot take her to. What do you say to that?
Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Addressing the first part in terms of adults knowing what they want in a relationship, I think that by definition of adults, if we're going to say like 18 or older, in the initial part, I would say no. I don't know that most people enter into relationships knowing fully what they want. They have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And those ideas are a lot of times influenced by what they've seen or what they think they should have versus spending time with themselves in a way to really know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as that leads into sexual gratification, I think that it could go both ways. I think that for some women, they do discover new things about what they enjoy sexually as they proceed to do self-pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully they can communicate that to their significant other. Hopefully that significant other is your husband, because that would just be so much wasted energy and time to train somebody that has no commitment and that could go off and go make somebody else happy. I would be upset about that. However, you want it, it's Monday, this is what you asked for, so you're gonna get it.
Boy, that corner hold on, y'all. That corner
is it impossible for a man to do it for a
What
woman?
I mean?
Not without communication.
Lord Jesus, boy, look here. That's a busy corner this morning. That is a bit. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, we all talking this grown folk talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't talking about the 800-pound gorilla in a room for men over 35.
Mm-hmm.
That's ED.
Mm.
Now, I'm of opinion that if you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I mean? You got to use it. I mean, I can't think of no religion to say celibacy. I can't think of one religion. And in the Hebrew religion, the Old Testament, it tells a man it is better to I'm gonna say this right going to the corner.
You going in the corner? You going in the corner?
Than to ejaculate on the ground. Mm. You know what I mean? I mean that's what it says. That's where it says it in the Old Testament, right? And as far as the woman being celibate, it's a biological problem with celibate women. You do have a certain problem. You have a problem being over hype, right? But being celibate. You know what I mean? I mean, like a guy coming out of jail with 20 years, right? You know what I'm saying? He's been celibate 20 years, right? When he come out, man, if he make it past 30 seconds, I would give him an award for being long term. You understand? Let's look. And another thing is ED, 800-pound gorilla in the room. Now, me and my wife, we met. She was one of the most exciting sexual. I thought I married. she could handle business. And I was like,
Ibrahim.
Okay.
Ibrahim.
And anyway,
Ibrahim.
she appreciated my
Ibrahim.
Okay.
Let's stop right there, brother.
But,
you're taking a turn.
Now I have ED, right? It's been like some years. I've been forced though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even some of the most, every once in a while I can get stimulated with
Ibrahim.
Like,
Ibrahim.
wow,
Ibrahim. I'm gonna have to mute you, Ibrahim, because you ain't gonna stop, brother. You putting the information out there, man. You putting a lot of Rico. Talk to me, brother. Oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna try to bring it back a little bit, man. You know, I ain't gonna join the corner with y'all, man. But you know what it is I'm sort of thinking about the lines being blurred between needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can give you an example. I was dealing with a woman one time, had 2 young sons, and me, I'm the type of person that if I'm gonna come around, you and your children gonna be around, at least I'm gonna try to have a conversation with them, so they don't think I'm just there for one reason, because you know I know they little boys, and she might have other guys coming around, and ain't no telling what they hear. I don't know what this environment is like, but just in case, I don't want to be a part of that disrespect. So I try to have a conversation with the little boys, man. And the oldest boy had an attitude. So she was cooking, and she offered me some. Well, the oldest son, he wanted something to eat. Yeah, you know, just got out of school or whatever. He wanted something to eat. She said, "You don't have to wait till the food finished. It's almost done." So then this thing, I know she offered me a plate. I'm like, "No, wait a minute. Go ahead and feed them. They hungry." I said, "You got another batch? I'll eat on the next batch." She said, "No, she's put me first, trying to impress me." You know how people do when they meet somebody.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we were active too. So later on, that action started. And she was very loud, very animated. And I heard one of her sons get up and go to the restroom. I was like, just what I thought. He tired of hearing that. And I might not be the only one. Come to find out, I wasn't the only one. So I noticed where the attitude came from. So I came back and I told her later on, I said, "Look," I said, "being that we like to get loose like this, that's a little too loud for them children to be in that next bedroom like that, man. I'm going to just come over here when your son's going to their father's house." I could tell by the attitude that the oldest one got that, you know, he ain't cool with hearing his mama going down through that like that. Oh, he got to understand, I pay the bills, and I got needs. What? Them ain't your needs, them your wants, and you putting your wants before your respect of your children that's hearing you in this bed, hitting the wall. And then come to find out I wasn't the only one, so it ain't just my name he hearing, there's a couple more names he hearing taking you down through there. I got needs, he got to understand. I left her alone. Listen, man, I cut women off quick. I might be different than everybody else, you know. And the celibacy thing that Ibrahim was talking about, I think it gets to a point where when you start realizing that you make some of your biggest mistakes behind your private part, like me, most of my biggest mistakes, most of my most life-threatening moments, most of my biggest beefs has been behind women I done dealt with, and men being envious. I'm tired of hearing Rico Lane. Oh, I can't stand it. So, I mean, it's like, you know, along with the fact that I made bad decisions, and I won't say I hung my hat on conquering women.
That's good.
I built up a reputation, got myself in trouble, dealt with women that I shouldn't have dealt with, put myself in a lot of situations. Had I not been thinking with the wrong head, I wouldn't have been there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, if we get confused with this needs thing and what we want. That situation that went on with that woman and her son, that showed me that she had her priorities blurred. She had the desire blurred, but you know that sex thing, man, it can actually be like crack to us. It can be a drug to us.
Absolutely. Hold on, Rico.
It might sound strange to some people, but to some it's necessary.
Good deal. Stay right there, Rico.
And they're going to continue to be addicted.
Yeah, stay right there, brother. We got to keep this thing moving. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna jump on. I'm gonna transition now over to our topic, which pretty much really lines up to what we always have been talking about. But the topic of the day is I want you, but I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. Cassandra, what do you say to that? If you're in a relationship and you have to avoid
skip me. I mean skip me on this one right here. And just let me listen for a while because I have no answer for that one right now.
Okay. Goddess, you back with us? Goddess, are you back with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I called on you. I called on you a couple times, and you didn't respond. So I figured you had stepped away for a minute. But let me ask you this question: if you get to a point in a relationship where you have to say this to the person that you're dealing with, I want you, but I don't need you. Where is that relationship?
That relationship, to me, if I have to say that to somebody, then that person has taken me for granted, in my personal point of view, or taking not just me, but taking everything I've done for granted, or me as well. So I think if I have to go back if I have to go into a relationship and say that, then I probably don't need to be in that relationship, because I think, again, at a certain age, everybody wants to be wanted. And I wouldn't want to be with a man who doesn't want me. I would want to be needed as well, but I don't want to be needed, because that's all you need from me is just one thing. So I'd rather be wanted than needed. Because as a total package, if I'm coming to a total package, and maybe I'm not getting this correctly, but if I'm coming with a total package, then I'm bringing something that you're gonna need anyway.
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Rosalind. Rosalind, if you're in a relationship with someone and you have to say those words, I want you, but don't get it twisted, I don't need you, is the relationship in trouble?
Yeah. And just to add behind that, I want you, but I don't need you. Get OUT out.
Wow.
You can go, take your bags, and go with. Yeah, that part.
Let me guess. Let me guess. To the left, that type situation, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just being real. I have to speak on my behalf. So I'm very independent. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just the way my mom raised me. But you do have men that will come in and say, oh, she need me. No. I mean, I want you, but I'm not going to lower my standards and jump over hurdles or be in all this drama, etc., just to say I have a man. No, it's not that serious. I don't want all that negativity in my life. So yes, I want you, but I don't need you. Goodbye. That's it.
Wow.
Once you get all of me, and I have put 100% to try to make it work, once it's over, it's over. And every guy that I've ever been in a relationship with, they always come back and say, you was the best thing that ever happened to me. So, I mean, I can't go back. I can't look in the rearview mirror. I got to move forward. So if you ever hear me say that, it's over. I'm sorry.
Done deal. Done deal. Willa, talk to me. I want you, but I don't need you.
Yeah, Raheem. I was in a situation like that in my first marriage. I was really young, and my husband, he was from the South. He was from Greenville, Mississippi. No, Greenville, Natchez, Mississippi. And he was the oldest of 7 brothers. Cut it short, he really didn't have a man in his life, and he came up into the city, and he hung out with some city boys, and they taught him certain things that he shouldn't have learned. But we got married at 25, and so during our marriage, there was infidelity and all that other stuff, and I took him back on some occasions. But when I finally made up my mind, I remember on Mother's Day, and he came back with some flowers, and he said he wanted his family back. And I asked him, I said, well, are you going to give up the other women's and, the other stuff you're doing, what's going on? He said, no. He said, no. I said, oh, okay. I said, you know what? I love you, but I can't go through this because I know I'm worth more than that. When you know you are a good woman or a good man, you don't have to just accept anything because you want a person or you love a person.
Exactly.
You have to love yourself first. You have to love you first. Because I don't want to live a life with a person that I'm unhappy with. I'm only in this life for a short time, and I want to take each day with happiness. So, yeah, Raheem, I've been there. And I got out of it too. And now, even though I still loved him, he was my first love. I had my baby at 15. We was in love. I was depressed for a while, but life went on. And I'm so glad. I just thank God that I went through that because it got me where I am right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, I like that, Miss Willie. Yeah.
Cassandra, you ready?
Well, no. I mean, mine is really simple. I'm by myself, not because I have to be, because of course, of course, men hit on me, but I'm very protective of myself, and I'm not going to settle. I really believe that my last years, because I'm 63, my last years are going to be spent with somebody that loves me with the love that I'm for him, and we're going to make each other happy. At this point, I'm hoping that he is ready to travel and live life. So I want somebody, but I'm not going to lower, just like with Willa, and I think Rosa, I don't have to lower my standards to be with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't, and I realize that. For years I did anything just to have somebody around, but I realized I'm worth more than that.
Absolutely.
I'm worth more than that
Absolutely.
to God, and I'm worth more than that to myself.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on now. Tucson. What's on your heart,
Don't
brother?
bring Tucson behind me.
I got to, Cassandra. I got to. It's by design, sis. I got to. Tucson, go ahead, brother.
Wrote a song, and he said,
"Hey, Tucson, we can barely hear you, brother. You're real low."
I'm sorry. Smokey Robinson wrote a song. I think it was Smokey Robinson. I know he sang it. He says, "You really got a hold on me." But the lyrics of some of the lyrics of the song say, "I don't like you, but I love you." You know, and I'm always thinking of you, but you treat me bad. Oh, you really got a hold on me. I wish I would. I wish I would. Cause I ain't gonna let you treat me bad. There's some relationships, and y'all didn't think I could get serious. I can. Just don't want to. Laughter is medicine. You don't know how sick people are. So in my position or whatever, I just like to have fun, and I'm like that all the time, no matter what. But I got good sense. I really do. But I ain't gonna let nobody mistreat me.
There you go.
And this conversation goes. It's really. I know we've went in some areas that it seemed like we say, okay, let's everybody get in the corner. But these are things that really need to be talked about.
Absolutely.
This is life. This is life. I'm talking about reality of the in and outs of relationship. Y'all didn't think I had any sense to. I really don't. But I do.
And jokes, I really don't, but I ain't gonna let y'all know it.
But here's the thing. People say that the people fall in like all the time. I didn't say fall in love. Fall in like all the time. But they wind up with a person that they get treated bad. Well, I like you, but I don't need you. I'm not gonna put up with you stalking me. Got your friends monitoring my life. I wish I would. I'm not having it. And matter of fact, yeah, well, I'm just gonna have to tell you, 3 minutes plus.
Oh Lord, see, you was doing good. I was about to bring. I was about to bring you out the corner.
Y'all thought y'all was gonna be all right with me too, so really making sense. No, I ain't gonna go there for her. I like to, I like to think crazy when I'm not. But really, we need to talk about some of this stuff because some people, they like a person or they love a person so much that they're willing to risk it all, even their children.
Absolutely.
You better stop that.
30 seconds.
I'm out.
Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Is there a specific question?
Same topic.
Man, wants. I think it's all right to have wants because all human beings have them. Depends on how far you go for it, in my opinion. You know, love is a need, and when you let want interfere with it, it can end up getting you in a lot of situations that isn't healthy. And I think that I feel like in society as a whole, you know, bigger vehicles, bigger house, and all these extras. That a lot of times, I mean, how many things are in a person's house that just collects dust because they wanted it? It does nothing. It's just a want. For a temporary buy because it was on sale or something like that because of a want. And it's
okay. I think Badger got a little something going on over there. Let me go to Friday. Friday, what's on your heart, sis? Can't hear you.
Let me try that again.
There you go. Now the question is, I want you, but I don't need you. If that has to be verbalized in a relationship,
the introduction to every relationship. Not that we don't need each other, but I don't need the added attitude. I don't need the added anything in a distractive way. There are going to be things that we have to go through, especially in a monogamous relationship of significant others. There will be challenges as we get to learn each other, but never feel as though that my whole existence is dependent on you in a way that I need you to survive or I need you to live, because then that would be a grave mistake, not only on your part, but on mine, to even feel as though I allow myself to think that I need to be so dependent on another individual to not be able to know how to stand on my own. And being able to stand on my own doesn't qualify or quantify the perspective of that two working together can't make things better, because we do. Even the word speaks about when, two more are gathered, not only is Jesus present, but even in solving problems, right? Having another mind to bounce things off of. So in those perspectives, yeah, there is a need for you. But if you're not gonna give me or come to the table in a situation where we can work together, then you yourself, I don't need. I'll find it somewhere else with somebody else. So as a counterpart, I need that space filled, but maybe not by you.
Wow. Maybe not by you. Wow. That's a gut punch right there. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, man, it sort of goes back to what, I was saying earlier, man. I mean, I might need you, but I ain't got the cells. I don't have to put up with anything that's going to have you or have me dealing with low self-esteem, putting my health at risk, my safety at risk, my mental stability, my mental health, my peace. I might need you, but you ain't going to be sitting up there talking to all these other people. I might need you, but you ain't gonna disrespect me in public every time we get out here, man. And you start acting this way or dressing this way every time we go somewhere. You got to show some skin. What you advertising?
Yeah.
I ain't got to put up this. It's a thing called standards. You know what I'm saying? And when people decide to set their standards and stick to them, when they decide that they have values that they just refuse to let somebody else come in and lower, then, you know, we start realizing that we might need somebody, but we don't have to stay with them. So, you know, what it really boils down to, even with the last topic, it boils down to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you with somebody that don't want to make a sacrifice. You know, I heard Ibrahim say that earlier about the 50-50, and I agree with that. But for some reason, nowadays, this time, you know, people like to sound more visionary, I guess, and they'll come back and start saying 100 or 100. And that all sounds good, but really and truly, when you got this one thing called a relationship and you got two sides of that relationship, and you require both of these two sides to put their 100% into it, but only one is putting in 100%. That means that, but some only 50% of the team is trying. So that's the reason why they say it has to be 50-50. The effort has to be reciprocal and equal. It has to be the same goal, the same mindset. And when you set these standards and you stick to them because you have a goal or a vision for a successful relationship or whatever it is, then you know you stick to it. See, but in this day and time, you have so many people that are deceived. You got pigs with lipstick, people that make a first impression until they get you. I mean, there's so many different issues where you start meeting people, you get with them, and then you find out, you know what, man, I picked these jokers for the wrong reason.
Yep, exactly. 30 seconds for go.
And even though we were talking on the same page, we was on the same, had the same thing in mind at first. Now I see they were just telling me what I needed to hear. And now they think that since I'm with them, that I must need them, because if I didn't need them, I wouldn't be with them. Well, I'm going to show them different. I don't need you.
Exactly.
Like I said, that's why I'm celibate now. I don't even need the attention from other women. Don't get me wrong. Like we said earlier, it gets hard. It gets hard, man, but hey, it's a lot easier to observe and find out what has caused your downfall in the past and then not repeating those same actions.
Exactly. Badger, you didn't finish your thought, brother. What's on your heart?
You know, kind of to pick up from where Rico's saying, is that's kind of where I was heading too. You know, being in an abusive relationship of any kind and choosing to stay in it, I view as a want. Because nobody needs to be in that kind of toxic atmosphere. And it, to me, that's what society, man. I don't know when it exactly happened, and I also know it's probably been around for a long time. I have no doubt. But just what happened to just being happy with having your needs covered? What happened to having to search for all of these extra things that aren't nowhere close to being as important as a loving family? Being with the right group of people. You know, how many people are truly happy being able to get everything they want, but they don't have what they need?
Absolutely.
So it's just boils down to, as a human being, as an individual, are you truly able to separate the difference between want and need?
Oh no, Rosalind, is that possible?
Is it possible to separate wants from needs?
Yes.
Of course. I do it every day. Yes, it's possible. I mean, I could jump the subject, but like, I just want to like take it back off of Rico. Even with the celibacy stuff, like, with women, I don't know if that is for men, but for me, I mean, just my opinion. I mean, just me. I'm speaking about myself. You have to watch that because even with doing that, you can like fall into, I don't know, like it'll deal with your mental health sometimes. Because even with me, like men compliment me now, and they be like, "You are so beautiful," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't see that." But obviously they do. But I haven't been like involved in a relationship for so long till I kind of lose track of, I guess, my appearance or something. I don't know. But you have to deal with celibacy on all different aspects of mental health, trying to figure yourself out, and I guess the sexual part. I mean, I do it because of for personal reasons, but it can affect your mental health as well. But you just have to know what you want, why are you doing it, and what's the goal? What is the goal in mind?
Yeah.
But I mean, I have guys that talk to me, but I don't see it. I guess because I haven't had a relationship or whatever. But I think somebody was saying something earlier about even with the toys or whatever. You know that. It's nothing like being touched by a man. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's nothing. Toys are okay, but they cannot take the place of being touched and pleased by a man. That's only temporary. And if a woman says that a toy can replace a man, they crazy. And I'm probably the youngest one on here, maybe, but I wouldn't dare say a toy can take the place of a man. The touch, the smell, the looks of a man. That will never happen. Not over here.
Say so, sister. Say so. Say so.
Wow. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this. The good bishop is among us. Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, you so I'm doing great, bro.
I know you've been listening, brother. What's on your heart? I want you, but I don't need you. Huh?
You want what?
The topic is if you're in a relationship and you get to the point where you have to say this to your significant other, I want you, but I don't get it twisted. I don't need you. Where's that relationship at that point?
Well, the relationship is at a point of really establishing boundaries. To me, the statement is that, I don't want to be without you, but don't you dare think my life would not move forward without you. But hey, let's work some things out and try to rectify whatever problems that there may be, or we can understand where we need to address issues that could possibly be a problem. I was listening to the young lady, and I think I listened to both of them. Puerto Rico, and she said a mouthful, and I was just listening to them because now people have this. They say it because they don't want to be in a relationship. Then those who are in a relationship say it so they can make sure the guy or the partner knows and understand. Hey, I don't share my life, but don't you dare think I can't live without you. Don't you dare think don't get it twisted. It's not that I don't want you. It's just like men. Don't you get it twisted. That's my take on it. If I'm in the ballpark, then at least I did hear they hit it to the first base.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
God, is you with us?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
Girl said it. Like nothing can take the place of a man. So I don't know where he got that mentality, that thought process from, but I think I said everything I needed to say. And my ladies been handling it. The ladies have been handling it. So
y'all doing this. I don't know what y'all did over the weekend, but y'all came in here ready this morning. Friday, talk to me, sis.
I mean, it's just like that. It goes into where we were talking about before, coming into your own and knowing what you want out of life and then out of a relationship. Because then knowing that you're able to place those boundaries and feel confident in reinforcing those boundaries and not feeling that you have to be a people pleaser, or even in the terms of being submissive in a relationship, giving up those boundaries. You can be submissive and compromise in a fair way and also retain your boundaries. Because if that other person, that significant other, really truly cares about you, really love you, they would not want to.
Right. Let me jump in for a second.
Yeah.
You said that you could be submissive.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? That verse that when it says a woman should submit to her man. What does that mean to you?
Well, to me, that means being willing to go to battle with them, not at them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know that he's taking charge in terms of leading a household in a particular way, then as the helpmate, I'm going to then come up beside him to cover down in the areas that his attention doesn't need to be, so that he can put it somewhere else. For example, I think that a lot of times the term gets a lot of misconceptions and gets thrown around like I have to hold my head down and yes, master. I think it's a respect thing. And to the sense that, much like Sarah, I would want to call him Lord, not because he's just being vindictive, manipulative, or mistreating me, but because of the respect of the relationship. I say it like this: what's important to me should be important to him, and that should be his focus. So then that way, those things that are important to him are now my focus. So by me submitting to him and him to me in that manner, we're not missing out on anything that's important to each other.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, man? We're talking about the woman submitting to. What does that mean from where you're sitting by, Rico, where it says woman should submit to her husband? What does that mean to you, Rico?
I mean, don't be so combative. It don't mean that you have to be just completely passive or docile all the time, but at the same time, when things are getting heated, it might help to submit, because if they get too heated, you might not be able to physically stop this man. And see, that's what happens between human beings sometimes when they have disagreement. Whether it's a man or a woman, if you ain't careful, that thing might turn physical. So it might be wise for you to, depending on what it is, for you to submit. He said he's tired of you cheating and calling this man. It might be wise for you to submit to that request, that you start carrying yourself like the woman that he thought he was getting with. We can go in so many different directions with this. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, to be honest with you, the last 30 minutes to speak on submission, man, that could be 3 hours in itself, because some people might take that the wrong way. Then some people could come back and make all the sense in the world, because they still have that type of balance to understand that it don't have to be extreme submission, but it don't have to be non-submission either.
That's good.
See, with some people, we don't know this balance, man. We lacking this balance. You know what I'm saying? We got this either-or mindset, my way or the highway mindset. You got to have it now, not a now or never mindset. So we don't understand that balance. So you have, like I said, now we living in a situation where we have these older grown people that are single. I saw a video where this woman was talking about all the old men that was up in the hospital for heart disease in bad shape, didn't have nobody to call on for an emergency contact, no significant others. Spent all our best years being players, no strings attached. I feel like I'm in that same situation, but then with the other shoe, women in the same shape.
Exactly.
And time is drawing near, and the pool and the water in the dating pool is getting muddier.
Good deal. Good deal.
Because everybody that's in that pool, they decided to keep on swimming and playing longer than they should have. Most of the people made the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? Had the wrong requirements, so many different things. So, man, I think when it comes to talking about submission and submitting to a man, I think that's a discussion that might take another 3 hours in itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. let me do this right here, and I'm gonna go to Cassandra, but I'm gonna put something out there from what Rico just said. And I know my brother, man, he did not, when what he said, he did not mean it in this way. But I know that some ears may have heard what they heard, and twisted or turned it or whatever. Cassandra, there may be somebody out there that heard, and like I said again, I gotta, I'm standing in the gap for my brother. I know he didn't mean it this way, but some people may have took what he said and that a woman should know when to sit in that corner and shut up and not say nothing. What do you say to that?
Yeah, no, I didn't take it. I didn't take it like that.
Because you
And
know
if you
Rico, and you know
listen
he
to
didn't mean it
him,
that way. Because you know Rico, and you know he didn't mean it that way. But I'm saying, what about the
yeah,
person
no,
that may
no,
have?
but you
Yeah.
can take it. No, people hear what they want to hear. If you listen, that's why we have to listen to the entire conversation that the person has, and then you get a better understanding of what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I personally have never had a problem submitting to my husband
Mm-hmm.
because I know that he has my best interest at heart. And this is what I have always told women when I taught classes, whatever. The thing that we have to do, that if there is a decision that you guys just cannot agree on, let him go ahead and make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you feel like you know it's the wrong one, because what happens when things go to the left, who is he going to blame?
Mm-hmm.
He has nobody to blame but himself,
Yeah.
because you submitted to him and allowed him to make the final decision. That's just me. That's what I've always done. Submission comes out of love and respect,
Mm-hmm.
not out of fear or anything like that. It comes out of love and respect. We submit to Christ, and I'll submit to my husband as he treats me the way that Christ wants me to be treated. It's all in, baby. What can I do? What do we need to do to make this work and make it good?
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
always did that, even though the man did what he wanted to do. But I always did that.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Willow, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, I agree with what Cassandra's saying, the submission part, and I understood what Rico was saying.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a relationship, you got, and I'm not saying relation, I'm gonna say a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in a marriage, you got to look at what's best for the marriage, because you know the man that you married has our best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I can even say sometimes, like I'm gonna give an example. Like one time we were out eating, and it's this prestigious bishop that was down at Ron in Japan with us. And my husband, he's a minister. And so what he did was, and if you go to Ron in Japan, you paying $200-300.
Mm-hmm.
So what my husband did was, he said, I wanna pay for his meal. He wanted to pay for that bishop's meal.
Mm-hmm.
Now in my mindset, I'm saying to myself, that meal gonna cost me $200-300. You had mine. We looking at a $600 meal.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I could have been combative, but I didn't, because I knew my husband was doing something within himself. Can I say at that time? You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that, okay, $600, we'll get that back. No big deal. But I did that for him. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
And I shut my mouth for him. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things you have to look at in your marriage and say, you know what? It ain't even worth the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's get over it. Let's get by. Let's get past it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I understood when Rico was saying that. Sometimes we just need to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because what's more important, is it your relationship, or is it whatever you're going through at that time?
Good deal.
That's on my heart.
That's good. That's good. Badger, talk to me, brother.
Man, that submission. That was the question.
Yes.
Should a wife be submissive?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think a woman has a right to share her emotions and things like that, and not have to be on a constant edge or feeling they have to worry about their man's fragile ego or pride.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that says more about a man than anything, in my opinion, is how fragile is their ego and pride.
Okay.
Because if I do something wrong, I want my wife to call me out, tell me so I can better myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I say something, I don't want you to cower down and obey me. That's slave mentality.
Mm. Okay.
That
Good.
don't that
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good
um
deal.
oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
You said what's on my heart, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on learning how to do that without being afraid.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So um because and that's speaking a lot from like what I've grown up seeing, being surrounded by all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man expects a woman to be submissive, then the man needs to be submissive to the woman too.
Mm.
This whole concept that men have to run everything, I think, is a joke. If it's supposed to be a true 50-50 relationship, you can't put just one person in charge.
Mm. Okay. Let's go to Bishop. Bishop, what do you say to that? Bishop?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
All right. I had my phone on mute. Yeah, and I'm glad this is a great topic of a discussion. I was thinking about something that James Brown said, a song he made up. It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or girl.
Mm-hmm.
And in a relationship, there is submissiveness on both parts. The head of the woman is the man. God established that. I did. God ain't gonna change it because the time changed.
Mm-hmm.
But then there is a certain way things that need to be carried out. Because if Pilate had not listened to his wife, who gave him some advice, say, man, don't you have nothing to do with this innocent man's blood? That's why Pilate washed his hands, because he listened to his wife. And someone said, when he was being submissive to a woman, no, he was taking heed to good advice, because that's where it is on both orders.
Mm-hmm.
We should be giving good advice to each partner. The husband give it to the wife give it to the husband. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Wife should just not only be seen, but she also should be heard, because she has great ideas and she sees things sometimes that the man don't see.
Mm-hmm.
So in the backwards years, when they turn around, women should be seen and not heard. I never agreed with that. Barefoot and pregnant, I don't agree with that. But I believe there is an archy, and then we have to adhere to the archy. But at the same time, a woman has great insight, and a man should be willing to listen to her, just like he expects her to listen to him.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that's all I got to say about that, Raheem.
Yes, sir. Good deal. Good deal. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning to everyone. Fine, thank you for asking.
Yes, sir. Asking a question, and I want to hear your heart on this theme. And I'm gonna pick at you later because you are late for today, but you're early for tomorrow. I'll pick at you later about that. but Captain, what does it mean to you when it says that a woman should submit to her husband?
Well, I think that we take out of its context. I think that when we hear the word submit, we think that women should be subservient to men. The Bible talks about men's role and women's role. Men, be good to your wives, wives be good to your men. He'd even say, slave, be good to your masters. But, the key to a woman submitting is she's not designed, or she was not created by God to submit to a fool. She just was not designed and created by that. God made woman the helpmate. And the word help meet. Well, what is she to help me meet? She helped man to meet his goals and aspirations of what God intended for him to be. He gave her the woman to help him to meet that. She was not designed to help him to meet, to become a fool. So she don't have no problem. You don't have to tell a woman to submit to a real man. That's in her.
Come on, Captain.
He's doing what he's supposed to do. That ain't even a conversation. So we have women. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the home is the woman's base, but not necessarily her place. So she is the other half of man. As a matter of fact, I heard Badger, talk about a 50-50. Well, I have to differ with that. I'm like my man Teddy Pendergrass. I don't want a 50-50 love.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a man that I'm in total and respect of her and provide for her every need. I'm sorry. I want to pay the cost to be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 50-50 love, then you got to listen to 50-50 what she got to say. And even most of the time, she's right on point. But if you doing the right thing as a man, you have to tell her to submit. She loves to.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling a woman the other day, sisters was in my home, we see visiting my wife. I said, I have not worked for the Caucasian man for 45 years. I don't know what it's like punching the clock. I said, but my wife, she don't have to punch the clock either because I provide for her. She don't even go to the doggone mailbox to get the mail because her name ain't on none of the bills.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I be a man because when the push comes to a shove, I'm responsible. That's what I've been taught. So no, she ain't supposed to. She submit if he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Then that ain't even a question. But if he ain't a man, she ain't gonna submit to no fool.
Absolutely.
But the woman gonna submit to a daggone fool.
Absolutely.
No, I think she don't mind if he's with a real man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good instruction, and we should honor that. Don't take advantage of a woman who give herself to us. If we take advantage of a woman who give herself to us, then we the fool.
Good deal.
And
Good
God
deal.
should punish us to take advantage of a woman like that.
All right,
I'm sorry,
preacher.
I'm late. Had a whole lot to say. I'm sorry.
Look. You gonna come here late and try to get all your stuff in in 10, 15 minutes. Now hold on. Now what? But I love the truth of the matter. I love what you said though. And let me go to Rosalind because Rosalind was back there cheerleading. Every time you said something, she was cheerleading. She said, whoa, yeah. Whoa, go Rosalind. What's on your heart?
Look, we can pass the collection plate. We can pass the collection plate in there right there. The captain hit everything. Look, I didn't roll my little stuff down. I was gonna say the same thing. I'm not committed to a fool. I'm not committed to a boy. But I will commit to a man, a real man. And just what Rico was saying earlier about the women, like some women don't know how to close their mouth. And a lot of men, they speak about that, especially when they don't like loud women. Like, I don't like loud men. I don't like men that talk a whole lot. And it's vice versa. But you don't want to go out on a date. You're in a casual restaurant and she's loud and ghetto and won't shut up. Like, that's annoying. And I understand what he's saying about that because I have a lot of friends that's like that. I'm not like that, but they are. Sometimes I have to tell them, sometimes just listen. Close your mouth and listen. But as far as like being submissive, I'll be submissive to a real man, not a boy. Exactly. I mean, I feel like if you can sit down and have a conversation, even I don't like to argue, and I don't like to raise my voice because I'm very soft-spoken. So if we can converse and communicate when we run into issues, and we can sit down, that's both of us being submissive because we can sit down and talk our problems out. But if you're talking loud and being argumentative, that's not going to work. We're not going to get anywhere. So I agree with what Captain said. We can pass the collection plate on that.
Good deal. I was going to type in here. I'm a little afraid to go to her right now because she got a great big old smile on her face. So I ain't no telling what she's about to say. But Friday, what's on your heart, sis?
Boom, there it is. I think the key word in all of it is maturity. Not in age, but in mindset, because that's what you're going to have to deal with on either end of the spectrum. And once you identify that the individual has not met the maturity level that you need them to be, cut your losses, because as women, hopefully you're not raised to raise grown men. And as men, hopefully you're not raised to raise grown women. And there you have it. Absolutely.
I know the minister said, I heard him say a couple of years ago, he said, in order to be the head, you got to have a head. And I'm talking about the head, your top head. he talking to the men and say, you want to be the head, but in order to be the head, you gotta have a head. And ain't no two ways about that. Cassandra? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, I'm about to say it to you. Wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and
I'm
go.
here.
Okay. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. See, and I think this has been an issue when people hear me, and because I'm very outspoken, I'm loud sometimes, but when it comes to my relationship, you can speak to my ex-husband right now. I've been married twice. One of them is dead, and the other one, you can talk to him right now. But I submitted myself to him, and he ran the house. I was doing my thing outside the house. I was an activist. I was an advocate. I mean, he would come and hear me speak, and he absolutely loved it. But when we got home, he was the head of his household. That is the way that, for me, it worked. Even though, like I said, the cheating came, but he was the head of his household. I believe in that. And I tell women that allow your husbands, please, to be the head of their households, and you'll find that your households will be much better off. I don't have a problem with submission, but people think that because I'm bold and I'm very outspoken, that's the way I am in my relationship. I keep saying I'm an introverted extrovert. That's it.
Good deal. Well, we are about to get out of here. Anybody got anything they want to say before we get out of here? I think we're gonna revisit a piece or part of this on Friday.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, family. I had to step away for a little minute because my baby wanted to go and do some offensive lineman work, so I had to go and just give him some pointers. And I heard what everybody said. I just wanted to interject. First and foremost, we misinterpret what the term submission means. And it's, in my opinion, that a woman should be submissive. She should be submissive to God's will. And when she looks at her man, she should see God's will. She should see him moving in a purpose that satisfies God. Because if he's moving in a purpose that satisfies God, then his purpose will satisfy his home. Now, I'll tie it in really quick. I'm going to tie it into this. God's will is to treat human beings as proper and as just and as righteous, and show them as much love and comfort as his will provides. He shows you things that you do not see. Think about the story of Solomon when he's sitting on the throne and the lady rolled over and killed her son by accident, right? And Solomon said, okay, well, look, just the lady snuck in the other lady's room, took her son, and then there was a beef, right? They brought the son before Solomon. Solomon said, okay, well, since we got this beef, y'all can't sell it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut the baby in half. We're going to give one half to one mama. We're going to give one half to the other. One woman said, okay, I agree with that. That's not God's will.
No.
You understand? That's not God's will. The other woman submitted to the will of God and said, no. We're not going to go there. Just go ahead and let her have it. To forsake herself and how she feels about her kid, her child. To forsake herself and say, no, if that means I got to be without this baby so that it'll live, then that's God's will. Maybe she's a better mama than me. I don't know. But, I kind of, I stretched real far, but every time I read that story, that's what I think about, man. That was God's will. To show the world that, you know what, this woman was a woman of moral fiber, of understanding, of appreciation for the king for which she was setting before. So, it's my opinion that
a woman is not supposed to be submissive to a man. She's supposed to be submissive to God's will.
Good deal.
And she is supposed to see God's will daily in the man for which God has brought before her.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico.
Right there.
Absolutely. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
I will run on through it real quick, man, but it's something I want to bring up real fast, man. I've been wanting to bring it up for a second.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, Ibrahim caught a little tongue lashing, I guess, when he sort of criticized what Willer's idea was for that skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the GDs and this and that.
Yeah.
And, all of us, we agreed that, it would be a good idea. It was a good concept. But he gave some good reasons on why he felt like it wouldn't work. And I think to a certain extent, when we talking about communication and, selling and wanting and our wants and our needs, sometimes we can have good intention and want to do the right thing, but we don't need to. And I think that's what he was saying. And I'm gonna give a prime example of why he may have been just correct on what he was saying. Now I'm looking at it. I saw a disturbing video last night of some young brothers walked up in the church and robbed the pastor in the pulpit with the congregation out there watching.
Yep. That's all. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, if they'll run up in a church and do what they did, and I mean, when I tell you, man, the deacon or whoever that was sitting over there in the back, he was acting like he didn't see what was going on. He kept his face in his book.
Mm-hmm.
He had like he heard somebody preaching and reading a sermon, reading some verses. That's how much he cooperated and ignored what was going on. But man, I thought about what Ibrahim said when he said that, man, about that skating rink, and man, we might have came to him a little rough, man, because we talk about reality and what's really going on today, and that video really showed you what's going on today. That would have to be something different done with what she was saying to prevent what he was bringing up. I just want to bring that up, man, because everybody sort of came to him pretty hard that day, man. And,
I did too.
I didn't really agree with what he was saying, but after seeing that video last night, man, hey, I don't think I opened up nothing but a bail bonding office in the funeral home up there.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What's going on at 3 o'clock?
With that being said, if you missed today's show and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Now, speaking of Willa, is Willa here? Speaking of Willa,
Raheem, let's go.
What is Willa?
Let's go, Raheem.
Are you ready?
Raheem,
yeah.
Let's go. I am ready.
You know what, Willa?
I'm ready this morning.
You know what, Willa?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's go, Raheem. Let's go. Father, I thank you so much. First of all, I thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up this morning. Father, I thank you so much for the relationship that we have with you, oh Lord. Father, I know that you was in the presence of these conversations, Lord. Father, because you said it in your word, that you made the woman to be the helpmeet, oh Lord. Father, you said it in your word that man should lead. And Father, I believe it in the name of Jesus that we stand on your words and your words alone. Father, I trust no man, but I trust you, oh Lord. Father, whatever we pray for, oh Lord, I believe that at the end of the day, that you've done the best for me. I thank you, Lord, for what you do in our lives. Father, I thank you, Lord, for the protection that you bestow on us each and every day, oh Lord. Father, I believe it in the name of Jesus that you've got your love surrounded around each and every last one. Keep touching each and every last one on this line. Search their hearts, soften their hearts, open up their minds to the truth. Lead them, guide them, direct them, line them up with your will, and show them your ways. Father, I thank you so much for what you do in our lives. Keep the morning glow safe and successful as a show that will help and change lives. Touch Raheem and his family. Father, I thank you so much. I give you the honor, the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Hey, that's it. That's it. Friday. That's all you can say. Amen.
Amen.
Good deal. Good deal. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:13. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And that we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please, please, please be blessed. Love you. See you tomorrow. God say the same.